Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
4th of July appliance savings are happening now at the Home Depot, so upgrade with innovative appliance brands like GE Profile. Modernize your kitchen with a new GE Profile 4-door French door refrigerator with hands-free auto-fill dispenser. And with the GE Profile Ultra-Fast Combo Washer Dryer, you can tackle large loads in about 2 hours. Save up to $2,400 on select kitchen packages with 4th of July savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid June 19th through July 10th, U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
The Arizona primary election is coming up on July 30th, 2024. Are you voting by mail? Here are some reminders. Mail your ballot back 7 to 10 days before Election Day. Otherwise, return your early ballot to any secure election drop box or voting location by 7 p.m. on Election Day. Sign up today to receive email or text updates on your ballot status. Learn more at arizona.vote. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. I have some information on his whereabouts. Not happy. Not happy. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Keon Rose is in the control room. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So, Randy White, every time I take any time off, suddenly he's taking time off too. Only he tries to manipulate the system. So he tells Radio Ron that he's going to Paris to check the weather situation for the Olympics, you know, making it sound like it's work to tell us what's going on this sports show, even though nobody asked or cared what the weather was like in Paris. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm in Paris. And he's clearly drunk on the FaceTime call. And I'm sitting there with Radio Ron and we're looking at this and he's like, look, right behind me is the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, and so's the rest of the Las Vegas Strip, you liar. Clearly, you're not in Paris. So he's just out on one of his benders, having a good time. I mean, for all I know, he thinks he's in Paris. Maybe that's true.
Which is possible. Also, Paris does have a lot of wine, so were it true, there may not be any weather checking going on, but a lot of wine drinking.
Yeah, and he
really
was
doesn't discriminate.
You don't go to Paris and stand there in a tank top, you know, and shorts looking like Richard Simmons, you know, I'm just saying.
That's a good point.
That's just I don't know. We're used to this by now, right? We're used to this, so it's fine. He'll be back any day now after we hose him off or something. But yeah, Randy in the Vegas. Wilbur says, Randy, my boy, viva Las Vegas. Don't encourage him.
Why would you do that?
Don't encourage our fake weatherman because, I mean, fine. Listen, it's the summer. People are supposed to take time off and have fun and go on vacations. That's fine. But don't try to, pawn it off like a work thing you're going to try to write off.
You could just ask for the time off. I don't know why he does it that way.
He says, don't hate the playa, hate the Yankees. Wait, no, that's me. That's me that says that. He says something like that. So anyway, George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Taco Tuesday. Time to stop using Paul Sewald as a closer because he's blown 3 straight save opportunities and cost us 3 games. Use Ginkel or anybody else as the closer. Use Sewald in less high leverage situations so he can build up his confidence. But of course, Torey Lovello says he'll keep sending Sewald out despite him blowing 3 straight saves.
I mean,
it's a long season, George.
Yeah. And I don't know. I forget who said this yesterday, but nobody was complaining when he was on a hot streak. Sometimes you get cold a little bit. That doesn't mean that you give up on the guy. And if you really want to kill his confidence, give up on him sooner than you have to. I don't think you necessarily have to yet.
Well, part of this is, okay, first, it's a team sport. He didn't lose that game all by himself, okay? Second, what Keon said. Absolutely right. There is no formula to, okay, do we pull him now? Do we let him work it through? You don't know until you see it. You don't know for sure because, you pull him too soon. There goes the confidence. You leave him in forever. Well, there goes there goes your record. And we're doing exactly what we've been doing over the last 3 seasons, losing the first game, winning the next 2. So as long as we can beat the Braves the next 2 games, everything is fine. Nothing to worry about. But yeah, it's not great. It's not great seeing Sewald go up there and have that happen.
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't feel good, but
Randy's most unfavorite play-by-play guy, Berthume, he's like, and the ball's going long back there, and there it happened again. It felt like he was going to start crying.
Suddenly, Steve Berthume's voice works very well for that particular situation. Where you're just like, I can't believe this happened.
Now we're all depressed.
But I do think that, we've got plenty of time before the playoffs. And if you think that Sewald can't break out of that, then obviously you shouldn't use him. But I'm not going to fault Torey Lovello, who's seen Paul Sewald and has seen him be really good, see him actually pitch the baseball at a high level, for hanging in with his guy and seeing if he can't get right. Because if you axe his confidence now by basically saying none of us trust you, well, you have no playoff run.
Yeah, and remember, here's the sentence, okay? I get you, George. It's frustrating. Sewald's 3rd consecutive blown save, but then read the rest of the sentence. After converting his first 11 opportunities this year.
So over the course of the year, he's doing really well. I think that's an overreaction, and it's Big George. We can expect that, I guess, but still, it's an overreaction. I think if any fan is thinking that you've got to pull Sewald now, you weren't complaining when he was 11 for 11, which is very hard to do. So don't complain now that he's 3 for 3 if he can break out of it in the next couple of games.
How many games do you give him before you're like, all right, let's work this out?
I mean,
5?
I think you give him a couple more.
Yeah.
And then, okay, 5 is an unusual number of saves to blow. So maybe you come back to him and say, hey, is there anything we can help you do after the 4th one, maybe? And then after 5, it's like, all right, look, we're not trying to get rid of you, but we do need you to kind of clear your head a little bit. So we're going to use somebody else. We're going to come back to you. But 3 is not a big enough number, honestly. 3 is like that's a normal number of saves to give up. You just don't want to see it continue to happen long term.
Or in a row. That's rough.
Yeah. 3 in a row is rough, but 11 in a row converted is brilliant. So he hasn't done more damage than he's giving you benefit.
Sure, and they're talking to him. He knows what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not like he's your crazy ex-girlfriend and you say something, he's like, don't look at me, I'm hideous. It's just they're working together on this. I'm sure He knows he's just blown 3. Everybody else knows that. And whatever the issue is, they're going to work it out. And hopefully he doesn't punch a wall like all these other idiots.
Yeah, don't hurt your hands because that's your tools for your job.
So tonight you got Zach Gallen on the mound, and Sale is up there for the Braves.
This
is going to be.
I actually don't know how he's been since he's been back.
Well, he's got a 2.71 ERA right now. He's 111 and dropped 3.
He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, he is. That's what I'm saying. This is going to be a duel tonight, I think.
Yeah.
If Zach Gallen's got his stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and he, as of late, he's had it. So I hope he can continue.
Even though the Diamondbacks lost last night, Corbin Carroll, he was a big part of things. He tied the game with a bouncing single through the infield, so it was nice to see that kind of comeback. He's kind of been hot and cold, but it's nice to see him start to kind of get back to Corbin Carrollness, right?
Yeah, there are some things I don't like about Torey Lovullo's style, but I do think that the one thing I'll give him a lot of credit for is he's patient with guys. He doesn't give up on people too quickly. Maybe he hangs in there a little too long, but he doesn't give up on guys too quickly. And I think that Corbin Carroll's starting to feel a lot better, and he looks a lot better out there.
That's the same thing with Radio Run. He's very patient. He's very patient, and he has a technique that he uses in management, and that is, he drinks. And
that helps a lot of things,
right? I mean, right before the firing finger comes out, he's just like already kind of forgotten, moved on to something else. So getting them good and lubed up is a good idea, if you know what I mean. So
we'll see if it works for Torey Lovullo, but
well, as aggravating as watching him can be sometimes, we did go to the World Series last year.
Yeah, and that's the thing is when you look at some of these guys that are bad managers, or even in other sports, bad coaches, we're talking about bad relative to the rest of the league. Like, your worst Major League Baseball coach is still a Major League Baseball coach. It's not like the guy doesn't know anything about the game. And he clearly has some ideas that when he implements them, they work very well. And I think he deserves credit for that.
Oh, damn it. I just got a message that I may have to step away from the show for a few minutes, because reports are coming in that Randy has started climbing the Eiffel Tower replica in Vegas.
Oh boy,
yeah, King Kong style.
He's afraid of heights. When he sobers up, that's not
afraid of anything when he's drunk.
Yeah, but he's going to sober up at some point and be all the way up there. And
you underestimate how much he can drink.
I mean, okay, that's fair. But at some point, he's got to realize where he is and that he does not like where he is, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, either somebody's going to talk him down, or they'll have to shoot him down, just like King Kong.
Well,
that's a possibility. It's always a possibility.
Randy, like none of us, is built like King Kong, so I hope it's the first one. It's just that.
I don't know. If he's got Miss Kim in his hand, anything could happen.
That's a good point.
He's unstoppable. So 6:40 p.m. tonight, the Diamondbacks take on the Braves again, and we'll see. And guys, maybe don't boo Sewald. Maybe it's a little early for the booing of Sewald. Come on, man.
Yeah, and
we're not Philadelphia.
Like, I understand that, like, if your fans are booing you, yeah, you got to play better. But like, as a fan talking to other fans, the guy converted 11 in a row. Can he get a little bit of time to screw up? Because that's human beings playing.
What have
game.
you done well 11 times in a row in your life? Huh?
Not a whole lot, to be honest.
By the way, I saw a thing. People are talking about, things they're better than 80% of the people. So you think about yourself. Can you think, what are you better at than 80% of other people?
80% of people? Oh,
yeah.
Man.
You'd have to be able to say radio, because Rock and Manooch exist. So that makes it easy to say. So.
Oh, no.
So, that for you in your life, is it radio? Is it something else? Because I know me, smartassery. That's I'm probably better than 90% of people at that.
90% of people?
Smartassery.
I'm pretty good at drawing, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I could probably be.
I ain't seen you draw a damn thing since you've been here.
Well, yeah, I don't at work.
Can you draw me like one of your French girls, Keon?
It would be very awkward. It'd be very awkward.
I want candlelight and eye contact.
Well, I can't promise you the eye contact at all. That's.
I'm surprised you're going to let me have candles. Oh, well, I would.
You're also going to need clothes. That I just can't Can't stress
Oh,
that.
sure.
That candles
gets
are fine.
put on me, but not on Randy. Fine.
Well, Randy's different.
Well, I'd love to see some of your sketchings, your etchings, your what are you drawings? What kind of stuff do you draw?
Just largely sketches. I draw people mostly. Honestly, I'm not.
Do they know you draw them?
No, it's more like, if I see something, like a picture of somebody or something, then it seems interesting, I'll just draw it.
How many times have you drawn me?
I haven't drawn anybody lately because I haven't been drawing lately. So
that hurts my feelings a little.
It's been a couple of months since I've drawn anything. So, but yeah, I like to draw. I think I could do that more than 80% of people. There's an upper level where I'm like, all right, can't touch that. Those guys are insane. But yeah.
Did you draw the little turtle head and get in the art classes? You ever see that in a magazine? Draw Snappy the turtle and mail it in. And if we think you got drawing moxie, you can join our art school.
It wasn't a turtle, but I can't remember, it was a bird of some kind, but yeah, like it was one of those. Yeah.
And then it turned out to be a scam, huh?
At the time, I didn't draw very well, so I just assumed it was that. It was just, I never heard back.
Lost Toby says he's in top 1% of smartassery. Oh, I'm in top 0.5% of smartassery. I was just being modest. Don't even try me.
Yeah, you're in the top 20%, but like where in the 20% you were trying not to just put it out there.
No, listen, you've seen what I've done with the comics that have been in here. Come on. Fifth letter says, Keon, can you draw me a pirate ship crashing into Arrowhead Stadium?
Yeah, I can.
So you're a Tampa Bay fan?
Or a Raiders fan.
Oh, okay. I think Pirates. I don't even think Raiders. When I think Raiders, I think ex-cons. I mean, that's just fair, isn't it?
I think it's fair because of the branding and,
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way.
When the bad boy Pistons wanted to show how tough they were, they used Raider logos,
That's funny. That is funny.
So how else do you express that? Yeah.
Mr. Wilbur says, what's the over-under that Randy falls off that Eiffel Tower replica and manages to live and tell stories about it? Well, I mean, he's got a good grip. I'm going to say, I don't know if he's going to fall.
Well, he has fallen off of a roof and survived to tell the tale. So
fell. You're right. He fell. In no way did I throw him off that roof.
I'm just trying not to make any more waves than exist.
I don't know why you have to bring it up.
But yes, Randy lived to tell that tale. So
he's fine.
He's a very durable person.
He'll be fine. I don't know if I can think of anything else I'm better than 80% of people at. I got nothing.
Yeah, me neither. I
don't have that kind of ego, I mean, I know I'm a smartass. I know I'm accomplished at that. But outside of that, I don't know. You guys tell me, what are you so damn good at out there? What are you so good at? I was reading online because this is a thing that people have been talking about. And I'll be honest, I'm not impressed.
Oh.
Somebody put blowing tiny spit bubbles off the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
Is there a way to even measure that as you're better than 80% of people?
There is, but you'd have to get most people to be able to be willing to do that long enough for anybody to make enough data out of it to do something with. And I don't think anybody cares.
Parallel parking. And okay, I give you that. Some people are really bad at parallel parking. I'm good at it.
I'm bottom 20% at this parallel park. I'm horrific at parallel parking.
I'd say I'm better than 65% of people that I either do it so good you're like amazed, or hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. I was like Austin Powers trying to turn that cart around.
I went to a bar downtown with my girlfriend and I parallel parked and I got it first try. And we were all surprised. She was like, wow. And I was like, right? I don't know. I've never done it that fast before.
I've done it perfectly. And then there was one time I showed up at a remote and it was at a hot dog place in Chandler. And I didn't quite get it right the first time. It was not bad. Most people would be like, hey, not bad. It was like, and I kind of had to kind of straighten out. And I got out and there was this lady from New York and she's like clapping sarcastically. Way to go.
Okay.
Wow. You're so, I'm like,
because if you have time to do it better, do it better. But yeah, in New York, you get one shot because then there's someone behind you who's honking at you and it's very angry. And for me, I don't deal with stress. So I just leave.
This old lady from New York, I'd known her for years. I said, shut up, put your wiener in your mouth. Monkey Puncher says, I think I'm better than 80% of women in the bedroom. At least that's what the guys tell me Dylan Cohen says. What?
Why would the guys tell you that?
Oh,
Monkey
no,
puncher.
I'm sorry. I read that wrong. At least that's what the guys tell me Dylan Cohen. She's just all about the Dylan
She's
Cohen.
all about the Dylan Cohen.
Mhm.
Interesting.
I don't even know how you get that stat. How would you even be able to? No, I don't want to know.
Have
No, I
you
don't want to know.
polled all the guys? Did you send them a follow-up email afterwards? Like how would you even gather
For
that
quality
information?
assurance, please tell me.
Yeah, it's just a 5-star rating, and just let me know how I did. how does that work?
You hope that the sample size isn't too big. You know what I'm saying?
I don't really care, but
Yeah.
some people do. I guess.
I'm just saying. Just maybe. I don't know. There another person said they were really, really good at looking you directly in the face while you're talking and not hearing a single thing. Oh, I know a lot of people who are good at that.
I'm quite good at that. Yeah. I try not to be, but I'm very effective.
Another person said finding misplaced commas in a sentence. I don't really pay attention to that. If I'm reading for the content I'm reading, but sometimes it's really obvious when the punctuation's bad.
Yeah, once it gets noticeable, that's when I have a problem.
Yeah, listen.
But I'm not hunting to find misplaced commas, and if you send me a text, I'm not going to send you back up. Missed an Oxford comma there. That just seems like a jerk thing to do.
Oh yeah, we don't need the Oxford comma. Yeah. That's the one where there's space, comma, space, or space. How does that Oxford?
It's in a list of things. You put the comma.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Before the last thing. Yeah.
Right. I just don't be so damn picky. Spell the words right. I'm happy.
That's basically
as long as I can understand what you're trying to tell me. I'm not picky about where that comma was or wasn't. Fifth letter says the autumn wind is a pirate. Damn it, Jeffrey, get it together. Listen, you're not the only Pirates. Okay, there's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's true.
So there's the Pittsburgh Pirates,
and they've won a Super Bowl more recently.
Pittsburgh
the
Pirates,
the Buccaneers.
I know those guys play baseball.
But yeah, the Pittsburgh Pirates also Pirates. Yeah.
So listen, you don't have the market cornered on pirating. Okay.
That's a good point.
It's hot in here.
I mean, the studio is just getting bombarded with sunlight. So
why did I come in? Let's take a break. We come back. We have many things to talk about that are important. We probably won't talk about those. We'll talk about sports and other weird crap. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Arizona Diamondbacks home in Phoenix tonight as they continue their series with the Atlanta Braves. On Monday, Atlanta won 5-4 in 11 innings, rallying with a 2-run home run in the ninth to send it into extras. Despite the loss, Arizona has still won 6 of their last 9 games. Zach Gallen gets the start tonight for the Diamondbacks, entering the game tonight with a 6-4 record. Chris Sale, who's 11-3, will go for Atlanta. Atlanta minus a run and a half tonight, plus 140 on the run line. Arizona getting a run and a half, minus 165. On the money line, Arizona even money, Atlanta minus 120. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool's been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself, or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Celebrating 30 years of AmeriCorps in Arizona looks like
More than 27,000 members, 29 million hours served, nearly 75 million in scholarships, millions of lives changed. When you sign up for AmeriCorps in Arizona, you make a difference. Also, earn a living stipend, plus education scholarships. Join the movement by signing up at serve.az.gov. That's serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
And we're the Weekend Warriors.
Ralph, I think we should change the name of our show.
To what?
Let's call it 30 Years Sports Talk Interview Fun Time.
What kind of name is that?
Well, we've been friends for over 30 years.
Yeah.
We talk about sports.
Sure.
We interview personalities from the Arizona sports scene.
Okay.
And we have fun.
Dude, are you done?
For now, yes.
Look, Neil, all this is true, but let's just stick to our regular name.
Okay, Ralph, but I think my name is better.
Anyways, it's the Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I don't know. Do you want to know how hot it is out, or is it better just to not talk about it? Is it better just to ignore it? Is it better to just to forget about it? And
I don't. There's no point in trying to forget about it. I mean, the reality is the moment you step outside again, the temperature is what it is.
Right.
And you feel it.
Well, my phone says it's 111 degrees out there right now. Not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday got up to 118, and it was 116 about this time yesterday. So 111 in Scottsdale. I don't know where it is where you guys are. Fifth letter says, my car says 119. Yeah, well, your car's a liar. And listen, everybody's car is a liar, fifth letter, not just yours specifically, because this is the thing I taught Keon. I think I taught you this before you even got here, because I was worried that you'd freak out. See, what happens is your car sits there in the sun, and when you start it, it'll say 130 degrees. Everybody takes pictures and says, "Oh my God, is it?" And I'm so tired of that.
Yeah.
And it's not 130 degrees. Your car's metal underneath is about that. And then when you start driving, it cools down, and then you get a little more reality. But even then, what your car tells you it is rarely accurate. Rarely.
Yeah, I remember because you asked me if I had one of those cars, and I do not. But then you still told me why, because it's good to know.
Yeah.
Because one day I might have one of those cars. Maybe.
Well, there's no way to go through life. I might, maybe. No, you will. You will have one of those cars. Yeah, you gotta believe.
All right, there you go.
You have that confidence. Go out and get it.
Then I will have one of those cars.
It was nice working with you. Fifth letter says it's so damn hot, starting to think the devil is singing "Burn in Hell, Phoenix, burn in hell."
Only in the summer.
King Kitten says new texter nickname Satellite from space. Shut up.
I don't understand what the big deal about that is, honestly, but all right.
Holy crap, it's 93 degrees in Flagstaff, says Lost Toby.
Okay, that's pretty hot.
It got that when I was up in Pine Top, and my wife, I was like, yeah, geez, I don't think we went far enough north. She says, yeah, let's go to Flagstaff. She's like, I don't care for Flagstaff. I says, yeah, but at least it's cooler. Oh, that was a lie. Guess we're not going to Flagstaff. We'll have to go to Colorado now.
Maybe before, but not now.
Yeah. In no way does this have anything to do with mankind in global warming.
Not at all.
No matter what. By the way, speaking of those things, can we, next time JD Hayworth comes in here and uses this studio for anything, can we change all the damn TVs from Fox News back to sports? Because
yeah. I just don't want to see a bunch. I want to see a bunch of talking heads argue about sports, not things happening in the world.
I mean, I don't want it on CNN either. I don't want any of those things.
Yeah, because he left it on CNN one day.
If there was good, unbiased news then I'd be like, yeah, okay, that'd be nice to have.
Yeah, if you had, if the news wasn't just a bunch of pundits arguing about things, then yeah, because that's not actually news. That's just like 6 different people's opinion.
Mr. Wilbur says, can't wait to hear what Moist One is better at than 80% of the people.
Nothing good.
Yeah, we're not reading out loud. I'll tell you that much right now.
Nothing that's not a crime, I don't think.
Nope. Big George says the official temperature gauge at Phoenix Sky Harbor says it got to 115.
I mean, that's not great.
Well,
that's still not great.
And
But
keep in mind that the valley is so big now that you can't say that's the official for the entire area, because Queen Creek is not as hot as Phoenix. You know,
yeah,
a lot of the areas around Phoenix can be identical, maybe even hotter. So
I'm in Mesa, and it's also never as hot as Phoenix is.
yeah. So Big George, that'll be the official temperature, maybe just for Phoenix proper, but in the Phoenix metro, there are many different stories. Here's what we do know: it's hot. It's very hot outside, and we've already started to have people end up getting rescued or chopped or picked up. They're having heat stroke and stuff. Yeah, off of somewhere, hiking mountains and stuff. Now, heat stroke could hit anybody during the summer, but dogs turned out they are at higher risk. In fact, we were standing there, my wife and I, looking out the back window. My dogs are insane. They go out there and they lie down in it and enjoy even in the hot heat of day. And I'm just like, these dogs are stupid.
Yeah.
And to where I told her, I said, from here out, the rest of summer, let's go ahead and close up the doggy door during the hottest part of the day, because these dogs have no sense, you know, and I don't want to risk them getting because they're just dogs. They don't get it. Right. And the only way they can cool down is by panting. You know, did you know they got sweat glands in their feet? I didn't know this.
I didn't know this either.
They do.
Wow.
Wow. So, you know, they overheat pretty easy. And according to a veterinarian over there at Petco, here's the dogs who are most susceptible. So if you have a flat-faced dog, you know, like a pug, dogs with short snouts tend to have narrow airways, so it's harder for them to breathe and pant and really clear that heat. Long-haired dog, well, that's obvious. It's like they're wearing a sweater.
Right.
You know, and Buddy kind of has a little bit longer hair. So he did get a summer haircut.
Oh, nice.
But still, young and old dogs, they say on the ends of the spectrum, if you're a puppy, a couple of years old, or you're an older dog, you are at the most risk. The ones in the middle, prime of their life, for whatever reason, not at as much risk. But why risk any dog, you know, in this heat? It's horrible. Oh, yeah, and fatties. If you got a fat dog or they have other pre-existing conditions, they're at risk for heat stroke.
That makes sense.
So
yeah.
Even breeds without all these things I've said can get heat stroke. But the ones at the higher risk, bulldogs, boxers, pugs, Boston Terriers, Shih Tzus, Chow Chows, Huskies, and Golden Retrievers. They're all at risk for a heat stroke. So here's how you know if your dog might be in trouble. You know, excessive panting, drooling, deep or rapid breathing, weakness, vomiting, looking disoriented. That was everything we saw in Randy when we were FaceTiming him from the Eiffel Tower. Anyways, but I don't think he had heat stroke. So, you know, maybe just make sure your dogs are, you know, not outside during the heat of day. You know, make sure they got plenty of water. Don't ever walk them midday, and never, ever, ever, ever leave them in a car, even if they're parked in the shade.
I think that's fair. Take care of your dogs, man.
Yeah,
dogs are great.
So now we're locking up the dogs so they can't go out and basically do dumb things.
Got to save them from themselves sometimes, you know. Yeah.
My dogs. Anyway, so there you go. Just something to think about if you got them. So let's talk some sports stuff. Cade Cunningham and the Pistons, $224 million extension. Googly moogly, 5-year max rookie deal. Is he worth it?
He's the best player on the team. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, correction, because of other factors, it could actually be worth as much as 269.
Yeah, if he's able to make some of those incentives, the all NBA.
Can you imagine sitting there under 45 million in incentives? Like, here, you're getting lottery money, but here's your incentives, 45 million to get that much more.
And we'll see if he's even capable of hitting them, because the team's so bad. It's like some of that stuff is assist numbers. Some of that stuff is is defensive numbers, but if your teammates aren't great at playing defense, then you look bad too. I think that Cade Cunningham is somebody who the Pistons know they have to hang on to, and they're paying him like it.
Is that real? The Pistons' record last year was 14-68.
Yes. Wow. Wingstop ran a promotion where they gave free wings for the NBA season for every time the Pistons won, and that is the amount of times they had to do it. It's a great promotion because you're not really paying anything out.
You're like, what are we going to do with all these extra wings now? We were hoping, but I guess not.
They were horrible. And that's why one reason out of many that the draft lottery is bad. It's you should have the chance at the best player in the draft, and here you are picking what, 6th or wherever they wound up pick. I mean, this draft it didn't matter, but next year it would, and you don't want to have to. You don't want to get screwed out of that one. That next year you want to be in the top 5 of that particular draft
if you're bad enough.
If you're bad, yeah.
Average Joe says, "Don't shave your long hair dog in the summer. It actually helps it cool. It protects it from the rays of the sun, so don't shave him." We didn't shave, buddy. We just cut his hair shorter. We've never shaved him. And yes, don't keep your dogs outside. He also says you can't rapidly cool your dog if it is overheated. Don't dunk it in ice water. Just call your local, he says your local ER for advice. Really?
Maybe vet.
Yeah, maybe the vet ER. I don't know.
Yeah, because they do have like animal urgent cares. If you have a dog or a cat or something that's in a really bad situation, you can go there. It'll cost you an arm and a leg, but
my philosophy used to always be, if it costs more than the dog was to buy to fix it, I'm just getting a new dog.
Oh man.
I said that.
But when push comes to shove,
thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I just got because I forgot. Buddy had parvo. Buddy had parvo after we first got him, and he turned it from a $500 rescue to a $3,500 dog.
Wow.
So at any time says, "Hey, well, I love Buddy. You think you would like to give up Buddy?"
No,
you can't afford him. That dog's going to cost you $4,000. You only paid $3,500. Well, there was some effort involved.
Yeah, I mean, It's not just the money. Then there's the time that you put into making sure he continues to stay healthy as he's recovering and all that stuff. Yeah, no, it's expensive.
You can have Bebo. When I say that, my wife says, "The hell you can." No, we love our dogs.
The thing is, Bebo's going to live forever. That's
Bebo's insane,
bouncing off of every single wall that you have. But yeah.
So I'm sorry. Back to the basketball stuff. Chris Paul was explaining why he chose to go with the Spurs rather than someplace else, and he says, "Well, because playing time trumped chasing a ring."
I think Chris Paul still wants to matter in the league.
He doesn't want to be on the bench.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
He hated that in Golden State. He when he got to Golden State, he said, "I'm not coming off the bench." Steve Kerr is the coach. He said, "You're coming off the bench." So Chris Paul was coming off the bench, and he was not happy. He didn't make a big stink about it. He was a professional. He showed up every day. He didn't throw anybody under the bus, but he was not happy.
Are the Spurs going to start Chris Paul?
I think so. They've got Stephon Castle, the rookie point guard that they drafted. Well, combo guard really, but they brought him in. But having Chris Paul go out there and start and be the mentor and be the guy that can show him how it's done, even if Castle is the starter, Castle's still going to have a lot of time where he gets pulled aside and shown how it's really done. So I think having Chris Paul play significant minutes on that team, they don't think they're a playoff team yet. They're not trying to make that leap at this exact moment. So Chris Paul is a great fit. And plus, you can also get to see what Wemby's capable of doing because they didn't have a point guard that was willing to pass him the ball for whatever reason last year until about halfway through the season.
They're still going to be bad, aren't they?
Oh, they're going to be horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
888-368-1580. Big George says, "This is why I don't want to get another dog. I'm going to get guilt tripped by my wife and kids, pay thousands of dollars in vet bills when he gets older, inevitably needs expensive surgery just to stay alive. Best just not to have a dog and live a responsibility-free life." That's the dumbest thing you've ever texted.
And the reason why is because you have children.
Yeah, all that same stuff applies to kids.
To actual human children. After 18 years, okay, they're handling their own business, but that's roughly the time you spend with a dog. Minus the I don't have to worry about saving up for your college. I don't have to worry about you getting into trouble because you're pretty much around me all the time. If you didn't want responsibility, you don't axe the dog, you axe the children. You just don't have kids.
I in a previous relationship, I refused to have kids because the person was too self-involved. And I'm like, if you and I said, yeah, I don't think we should have kids. Very hurt. And I said, yeah, but you freak out when you take the dogs to the vet. And she was like, you got a good point.
Sometimes you got to know yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big George says, listen, I got health insurance for the children. That pays for the medical bills. There's no such thing as veterinary insurance. I bet there is.
I bet I bet there is. And B, when you're talking about responsibility, children are still more responsibility than dogs.
Children are dumb.
Don't children have things that they do after school? Don't you have to get them ready for school?
Yeah, I never had to work on a class project for my dog.
Yeah, it's just
I've never had to sit in an auditorium listening to a bunch of dogs sing badly.
Yeah, it's just like kids have their own responsibilities. It's not just about the money.
My dog has never knocked up a. Okay, that's not true. Never mind. No, it's actually not true. All of my dogs I've had spayed and neutered except for one. He was he was my best friend, and I was younger, and he was my best friend. And then I looked at him like, I can't do that to my best friend. I can't cut off his nuts. So he got to go free on that one. He got away with it. That was a mistake because he knocked up a pit bull. He was a small dog too. He was about this big. Like part wiener dog, part Chihuahua, parts every little thing. He looked like a little circus dog, and he romanced a pit bull from across the road.
Oh boy!
I think they ran off to France together. I think because that's the only place they could accept their love. It was forbidden. Big George says kids grow out of poop in their pants and become potty trained. Dogs never do. Sure they do. My dogs are potty trained. They just don't do it in the house. Your kids do it in the house all the time.
Yeah. Also. Kids become teenagers. Teenage dog problems are not the same as teenage human child problems. They're just not.
My dog never gave me sass. Okay, that's not true either. My dogs do give me sass.
Yeah, I bet Bebo does all the time.
Yes. I got a video of him giving sass. I should post that up so you guys can see it. It's pretty good. Like he talks to you. In fact, my wife and I are trying to figure out he'll go with his paws and he'll start talking. And we're like, what is he asking for? What does he want? And I realized just the other day, he just wants to be in the conversation. So he'll come over and do that. And I'll go, really? And then we'll start talking. And then he'll sit there like he thinks he's in the conversation.
My cat thinks that he talks. He was an only cat for a long time. So when I'll be talking and then I'll just hear meow, 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 like he's opening and closing his mouth like he's saying words because he thinks that's how words work.
You know what this really means for you and I? Our animals think we talk a lot. They think maybe we talk too much.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong.
Boss Toby. He says my vet comes in the form of a 9mm. You liar.
Wow.
You're such a liar.
That's just why? Why would you say that?
He says we offer pet insurance. When I worked at Home Depot in college, they offered pet insurance. Okay. So there is pet insurance
some
out there.
places do.
I wish I'd done that. Moist one says I would have never made it to third base without a dog. That sounds like more of a Wilbur line.
Oh no!
He's like, I would never head to third base without my cane and this dog. Big George says I can feed kids whatever they want: chocolate, ice cream, meat, vegetables, fruits, bread. Dogs only eat certain things. That's not true. My dogs, I don't feed them table food, but like a couple carrots, they love that.
Yeah. Also, have you ever met a kid with IBS? Because you can't feed that kid anything.
Hey, your stupid kids aren't going to eat spinach. My dog loves spinach. Okay. I mean, your kids aren't stupid. I just feel like we're competing.
The concept of children, not your child specifically.
No, George's kids will be brilliant because he's smart.
Yeah,
but in
he's a
general,
lawyer.
let's be honest, kids are dumb as hell.
I mean, in general, kids, they're dumb.
I've never seen a dog with a snot bubble.
Me neither, actually.
Had to think about that. I'm sure some people with pugs are going to go, really?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, let's shift gears. I want to talk a little college football. I want to talk a little NFL football and stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's the land of the free and the home of student drivers ready to back into your new fence at any given time. It's firing up a round of burgers and dogs on your rusty grill with a faulty gas line that engulfs your tool shed in flames. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
4th of July appliance savings are happening now at the Home Depot, so upgrade with innovative appliance brands like GE Profile. Modernize your kitchen with a new GE Profile 4-door French door refrigerator with hands-free auto-fill dispenser. And with the GE Profile Ultra-Fast Combo Washer Dryer, you can tackle large loads in about 2 hours. Save up to $2,400 on select kitchen packages with 4th of July savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing about June 19th through July 10th, U.S. only. See store or online for details.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit talknowaz.com because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Lost Toby's trying to explain his vet comes in the form of a 9mm comment. He says, I grew up on a ranch in Mexico. The vet was in the closet. So you didn't want a gay veterinarian come into your house? So you used the gun instead? I feel like that's very bigoted of you, to be honest.
And still overkill.
Mm-hmm. I think overkill is probably the right term.
In every sense of the word. I didn't actually think about that when I said it.
I guess it depends on how many. 888-368-1580. So, I've been waiting. See, this is got to be careful with the phraseology on this because Moist One is out there. And it does sound wrong, especially after the joke I told at the end of the show yesterday. But I've been waiting for this kid to become a man. See, it still sounds wrong. Arch Manning.
Well,
the nephew of my old quarterback, Peyton. Arch Manning. He was in high school. They were like, oh, this kid is so damn good. oh, this kid is going to be special. And I got kind of like, ooh, can we arrange it to have the Colts be bad at the right moment so we can draft Arch Manning? And we might actually be doing that right now. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens with Anthony Richardson. But here we are, Arch Manning. Yeah. Oh boy, here he's in high school. He's looking good. Oh, where'd he go to school and college? Your school, the Texas Longhorns, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, ooh, this ought to be good. 2 years later, he's still a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what the hell, man? Is he just not that good?
No, the guy in front of him is really good. Quinn Ewers is the quarterback, and Quinn Ewers was the big name 5-star recruit the year before Arch came available, or 2 years before Arch became available. And then he went to Ohio State, didn't really get to start there at Ohio State, transferred to Texas, and he's had the job ever since. And Arch Manning came, but like you're not going to beat the guy that's got more experience, but is as talented as you, at least at the college level.
There's a little thing called the transfer portal. Maybe Arch Manning should enter it and go where he can play.
And maybe, maybe he will if for some reason Quinn Ewers stays another year. But
isn't this bad that he's gone 2 seasons and not played yet?
No, not really. Like that's a pretty normal trajectory. A lot of coaches
What
don't.
NFL quarterback sat 2 years and didn't play?
I mean, I can't think off the top of my head, but
you have to go back and take a look at that. I'm sure they got stats for everything, so I'm sure that's there. You don't have to look it up right now, but I'm just saying,
take a look later. But like
your great quarterbacks who get drafted first round are not sitting their freshman and sophomore year, are they?
Joe Burrow did.
Joe Burrow is a hack.
Is he? He went to a Super Bowl as a second-year quarterback right away.
Nah, I just said that to see what anyone would say.
But
we are going to talk about him later on.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, he's had the injuries and stuff, but as far as quarterback talent, he got there a little bit later. And the reason why he had to transfer was he was at Ohio State, where they had a lot of quarterbacks in front of him. It wasn't, and Dwayne Haskins, for as much as he turned out to not be what he was promised to be at the NFL level, the guy threw 50 touchdowns in a season. Like sometimes you're just behind guys that they have more experience or they have something, some rapport with the coach. And I respect the guys that don't transfer the moment that things don't work out.
It's not about the moment, but this is different.
But you almost never start as a freshman like that.
No, I get that.
So
here he is coming into his sophomore year. Ewers is a senior.
Yeah.
All right. So he knows for sure next year, unless something goes horribly wrong, this is his team.
That's his job. Yep.
Right. I still, I don't know if this is the best for him, but he says he's hanging in there, and he says it is tough because you want to be out there playing with your boys, but came down to realizing there's nowhere else I want to be, and it was my dream to play at Texas, so I'm going to stick it out and play there eventually. So I don't know what his goofy-looking uncles are saying. I don't know what his goofy-looking dad is saying about any of this, but I'm sure they are giving him the advice. So how do we know? I guess we won't until next year. How do we know how good he is?
We won't, but just from what people are saying from training camp, he looks like he belongs. It's just Quinn Ewers has got the job because of the experience he's got in front of Arch and how well he has been playing as well. Quinn Ewers is somebody who, if he plays his cards right this season, he has another great year. He cleans up some of the mistakes and the quite frankly, very boneheaded decisions he makes with football. If he can clean that stuff up, that's a top 5 draft pick. That's a potentially first or second quarterback in the draft. So like that's who you're behind. You're not behind a scrub. You're behind a guy that's really good.
Kiss the Cook and Big George. You're right. Tom Brady. He sat a lot. Was never really a starter at Michigan.
And Tom is the one that if your team drafted Tom Brady, you'd be confused because every time they started Tom Brady, they were benching Tom Brady for some reason or another, and it would be easy to look at Michigan and go, what, do they not like him? Is he a jerk? Like why don't they stick with him? And it was really a lot of coaches just didn't really appreciate the mental aspect of Tom's game. They were always looking for the guy with the bigger arm than him. So the mental side, he was killing it, but they were always looking for that guy that could throw a 60-yard bomb. Tom wasn't going to be that guy in college, and they didn't give him the time of day, but that doesn't mean that Tom couldn't play, obviously.
Well, that's an exception to the rule as well. So but we'll see.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see.
I think with someone like Arch, though, he's behind a guy who's legitimately first round quarterback material.
The fifth letter, it's a good point. The 2024 NCAA football game is coming out soon. He says just play with Texas, substitute Manning in, and bam, find out how good he really is. Well, tell you what, next year you won't have to do that because Arch Manning has stated that he is going to be in EA Sports College Football 25. He has decided. He's going to take his $650 in the free game and do it. Although he did a little commercial with Eli, like a little online commercial thing. So I kind of wonder if they gave him a little money for that.
I'm pretty sure they did, just because it helps the overall. NIL.
Maybe he'll take that money and spend it on some acting lessons, not just for him, but for Eli and Peyton and his goofy dad.
Though
the whole family could use it.
Peyton gets by on this odd charm that he has.
Well, they write Peyton as Peyton, so Peyton gets the Peyton. So
that's the thing. But when they write Eli as Eli doesn't actually talk that much in real life. So it becomes this weird thing where it's like, why is he being so odd? I don't know.
It's like if Harpo starts talking.
Yeah.
It's very, 888-368-1580. So Arch Manning, well, you know why he's going to be in for 25, this 25 season. Wait, when does the 25 come out? When does the game come out for 24 and then 25? We don't have NCAA 24 yet, right? Because that's for the 24 to 25 season. College football 25 will be for the 25 to 26.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he wants to be in because he's assuming he's going to start.
Yeah, and I think he will. I'd be stunned if he wasn't. The only way would be if Quinn Ewers decided to stay for a fifth year, which, why? Like that would be odd. But yeah, I think that it's going to be Arch's job. Barring that weird.
Yeah, if Ewers decides to stay, he's going to find himself in a half circle of Arch Manning, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, and Cooper. A lot of foreheads.
And Ewers probably would have gone this year, except I think he wants to be a first-round draft pick, and he didn't want to have to go up against Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. Like the list of those guys, like 6 of them went in the first round, which is tying an NFL record. Quinn didn't want to be the last of those guys. So you go, okay, let me put some bigger numbers up next year and try again.
Yeah, that's probably wise. But then, Arch Manning's like, damn, he could have gone last year.
Yeah, he could have gone last year. And I think he would have been a first rounder too, because so many teams were desperate. I think the Raiders would have taken a swing at him or somebody else if they were available.
Is there anything that Arch Manning is better at than Ewers? Or is it a similar style of play?
I think, and this is just based on the spring training games that they televise, so I don't have any extra insight to it, but I think he's a better decision maker. I think that Quinn's just got a big arm. I've never seen anything quite like that at Texas, at least not in a very long time, where he can just uncork it. And he's also got that mobility, but Arch has got mobility. So I think that's about even. But in terms of just making your mind up and getting the football out of your hands quickly and making the right decision, I think Arch is a little bit better at that than Quinn is.
Okay. Well, I guess that when I'm outside of decision making, they don't have a reason to put him in for a play for a specific reason.
No.
Unless the other guy's tired or hurt.
Yeah.
Educated Sports Dude says the game comes out July 18th. So college football 24 comes out July 18th. I was playing some Madden the other day.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I stepped in because somebody rage quit. So I stepped in and took over. I took over that team and I won.
What was the score when you took over?
I don't even remember, but they were playing. The one guy rage quit and that team was losing. So okay. I took over. You know how I beat these kids? Defense. I'm very good at defense.
That's awesome.
And then I'm consistent. And see, they always play just like, Madden style. Throw. And, what special plays, whatever. I'm playing like an actual football coach. I do a running play. I work the running game. I do the pass. I do the thing. And on defense, I'm relentless on defense, and I know how to confuse the offense. I take a lineman and I run him backwards off the line and I zigzag back and forth, freaks out the rest of the offense.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I was going to throw there. Oh, my God.
That's the reminder of like the peak of J.J. Watt when they just let him line up wherever the hell he wanted.
Yeah.
It's like you can't really stop the guy if you don't know what he plans on doing.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of myself when I won that game. Came from behind and won.
Well, congrats.
After somebody
There you
rage
go.
quit.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah, a little bit. Most times I'm the one feels like rage quitting. I don't have it anymore in video games.
I lost it a long
gone.
time ago, especially Madden. I don't even really play it as much.
Donnie wants to know if the Fanatic's going to have NCAA 25 copies to give away. No. We won't have 24 either.
And if we got them, we'd keep them.
Well, it'll be minus about 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. All right, guys. Hour 1 is done. Hour 2 is next. It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. The Foster Care Review Board is a panel that advises our juvenile courts on the best interests of children in out-of-home care. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about the Foster Care Review Board. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. Word is he didn't get very high on the fake Eiffel Tower in Vegas. He was coaxed down with 3 corn dogs. So all is well there. So I don't know. Maybe he'll be back tomorrow. Maybe he won't, but we'll see. Keon Rose is in the control room. Look, Ralph from Harmon Solar just showed up. Hey, Ralph.
Hello.
And you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And all right, so what's up, Ralph? What's new? What do we need to know? What's happening?
I can't share that with you, but it's good to be here.
Nobody ever shares anything with me.
Yeah, there's a reason.
I don't spill the secrets.
It's There's a reason.
I don't tell anybody anything.
Okay.
Lost Toby says, speaking of bad acting, there's Ralph acting like he knows sports.
Wow. I've been on for 2 seconds.
Wow.
Ralph didn't even get to say anything about sports.
Well, poor Ralph has got this trauma thing where, like, when he came on and I said, hey, Ralph, he's kind of looking at me like, what's coming next?
I think that's a normal reaction.
It is.
Chief Skull says, help, I'm in Mormonville all week. Those hockey stealing blonde worshiping weirdos. Speaking of that, hi, Ralph.
Hi.
Whoa.
You saying Ralph's a Mormon? What's going on there?
This is very strange. Our text line automatically generated a weird thing.
Go figure.
I'm not going to talk about this. Something I'm going to have to fix there. Chief Skull, you keep that to yourself. 888-368-1580.
Okay.
That's going on Twitter.
No, not if I can help it. I don't want to say what it is for fear of what might happen.
Well, because you can't trust the fourth dimension with any sensitive information, or even information that looks like it might be sensitive.
Huh. Please forgive me. This is
wow.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Well, explain it later. Oh, I'd hate to get rid of that phone number. That I'd never seen that before, but that's going to be changed immediately.
Wow.
I'll tell you later. Anyway, Chief Skull, you keep that to yourself. Or else. 888-368-1580.
You'll be the first blocked person on the text line.
Not the first.
Well, not the first, but you'll be in the top 10.
Yeah, he just saw it too. He goes, LMAO, WTF. I know, right? Average Joe says, what's this? He says, yes, veterinarian ER. That's where I worked for all those years. Oh, okay. Okay, we were all talking about the same thing. Earlier, we were talking about being careful your dogs don't get heat stroke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the paw burns.
Yeah, well, we just found out that dogs have sweat glands in their feet.
Really?
I didn't know that. I thought they only just did that from their mouth. So Ralph has crabs, says, oh, wonderful. Quality of the show just went way down.
Yeah, because you texted in.
Let's make the best of it. That's a good line. That's good. The Jet says, good afternoon, gentlemen. Not you, Ralph.
Wow.
I just got back from a week in Nebraska, and I'll take this temperature of the crap we had there. It was around 85 degrees every day and about 90% humidity.
Oh, no.
Said I was sweating for 9 straight days. Good to be back and listening to my favorite radio station. Again, Jet, you can take it with you. We're on your app. We're on a stream. All these things.
Get the 1580 app, man. That's how I keep track of the station if I ever go home for the holidays, or if I just want to listen to the early morning football games, but in bed.
That's a good place.
I don't get out of bed for those. I
don't blame you.
Turn on the app and just listen to the game.
So, what? Well, that was weird. Big George says, nice to see Ralph on the show. Question for Ralph.
Here we go.
Do you think Paul Sewald needs to be taken out of the closer role after a third blown save and maybe replaced with Kevin Ginkel?
So, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, what do you think, George? He's going to say something different than what we said?
I don't mean that for a bad reason. I mean, just because he's having a bad stretch, you don't take his job away from him. You let him fight through it.
Yeah, and then there is a point where you do have to pause and say what's what. But trust me, Paul Sewald knows he's having a bad run.
Right. He's not going out there trying to fail.
He had an amazing run before this. So, how many more games? I'm thinking like 2 more games.
I mean, no one feels worse than he does. Put it that way.
Well, there's probably some people out there who put bets on it.
Still
feel pretty bad.
Nobody feels worse than him, though. He's, he doesn't want to go out there and fail. So he'll be fine. He's a great quality pitcher. He'll get through it. Everybody has their little moment. So
and we were saying earlier, Ralph, that nobody was complaining when he converted 11 for 11, which is not already hard to do.
Right.
So now he's 3 for 3 and the sky's falling. Come on. You have to be at least a little bit fair on this.
It's baseball. This is what happens. You got the ups and downs. You got to ride through both. So he'll be fine.
No, like they said, you take the good, you take the bad, and then you have the facts of life.
Absolutely. Natalie.
It's only people as old as Blair will ever get that.
I'd rather be Blair.
I think I would too. Younger than Natalie. That was rude. I want to be Tootie. Why not? Lost Toby says, that's the face of your phone number going public. No. Random Texture says, just when the show started getting good, Ralph shows up.
Gosh, the communist is back, huh?
We're doing that again.
Yeah, that commie came back.
Should I change his Texture nickname? Hammer and Sickle says.
Yeah. Brezhnev says.
Brezhnev.
Who's the Gorbachev, the one with the stain on his head?
Yeah.
The Jeff says, when I'm out of town, I do fun stuff. I don't sit around listening to you guys.
Well,
okay. Do you not drive between places? Like when you're going from your hotel to the fun stuff?
Also, Jet, when you're not here, I read good texts. So, hey, it worked for both of us.
Wow.
Keon has crabs, says.
What? Wait, what?
No, I'm sorry. Ralph has crabs, says Keon has a life outside the radio studio. Who knew?
I thought Keon had another. Keon has crabs.
I just read that wrong.
No, I do like that.
Keon was like, "Oh crap! Who did you get my results?" Oh,
wait, they were supposed to send that to my house. No one was supposed to know.
They sent it to the text line.
Walter Mellon, I kind of agree. He says the Bats let the Diamondbacks down last night. Last three out were 0 for 3. All got out with 0 for 4. Heading to the game tonight. Hope to see you win.
I disagree.
Hope
They
you
had
do
that.
too.
They had that game won. Sewell blew it.
Yeah. It was his to blow.
And sometimes it's like that. I mean,
happens. Think how many Kenley Jansen did that. He did it a lot with the Dodgers. It happens.
Sorry, I'm still reading very disturbing things. Sorry.
Is that about crabs or?
Sure. Harry says, are we now talking the facts of life? Is this where I input? I'm not reading that, Harry. Monkey Puncher says, hey there, Ralph. Are you single? You sound like fun.
Monkey Puncher has been going after everybody that sounds like they might have some money. So this is it's not a trick question. It's
Ralph has not been asked if he's single since he was, and so that just started trip the breakers on Ralph.
I would just say, ask my wife.
Yeah, it's really up to her. At any given moment,
it really is. It's her call.
Lost Toby says you just add comrade to the front of the net. So comrade. Random texter.
I like that.
Comrade. Hey, we were talking college football stuff. We were talking a little bit about the Arch Manning and whether or not, he's ever going to get to start in my lifetime. That'd be nice. But
not this year.
I thought this was amazing. Kirby Smart, that dude, he knows how to put a team together. I'll tell you that. But Georgia Uga, I call him Uga.
Yeah.
Uga, I saw
that's the
this.
name of their mascot too.
That's their dog.
The bulldog. His name is Uga. Yeah.
Uga 10.
So here's the stat.
So many of them.
Average size of Uga's incoming offensive lineman, 6'7", 340 pounds.
Oh my God.
That's the average. That means there's somebody taller, maybe somebody a little shorter, but not much. Here's the tallest guy is 6'10", 300 pounds. Oh my God. He's a tackle, 3-star tackle. Then a couple other 3-star guys. One guy, the shortest guy is 6'5" and a half. And then there's some 6'7" and a halves. And but you throw them all together, that 6'10" guy just averaged you out to 6'7".
I mean, that's the reason why you can win a national title with your quarterback being Jake from State Farm. He's not a big guy. He doesn't have a big arm. He's got forever to throw the ball. It's hard to get pass rush on Georgia.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tackles, and then another guy. So I got 7 guys who are that size. Even if somebody gets hurt, there's another giant piece of the wall to go back in.
And that's the reason why a team comes out of the SEC, they get favored like that, because they're all big. That's how big you have to be to compete there.
Those boys in the South are huge.
Yeah, man. And you start getting kids from, random high schools in Georgia.
Yeah.
The kids just gigantic. And like,
read them right.
I don't know what they feed them down there, but it's the
grits.
I did play-by-play for a game in Georgia and almost got run over by a kid that was like 2 times my size. and I was 25. Like it was insane. It's just they're enormous human beings. They're athletic. And Kirby Smart is, as of this exact moment, once Nick Saban retired, the best recruiter in the business.
And by the way, you also have commitments from a 6'5.5" 4-star by the name of Mason Short and a 315-pound interior offensive lineman, Dontrell Glover. So,
and that's not even talking about the receivers they've brought in.
The Great Wall of Georgia is getting bigger.
Yeah, the running backs. They've got Carson Beck might be the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. They're loaded. They're absolutely loaded.
That is frightening. I don't even want to go look at ASU's numbers.
I was about to say, but go ASU.
Oh yeah, you don't.
It's not going to even go look at it
because Georgia had their little rebuild moment that lasted exactly 1 season, and then they bounced back and never looked back ever again.
Lost Toby says, every time I bet on the Dodgers, they lose somehow. Well, am I going to finally win some money today, Ralph?
Today should be a great game. They're playing Philadelphia, right? I haven't seen. They already started. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. We'll see.
Lost Toby also thinks Keon is only 5'2", so it's not hard to get ran over by a kid.
No, he's much bigger than that.
Yeah, Keon is not a small guy.
I'm 5'10", so I don't know where you got that, but sure.
Hefty Lefty says Keon could have crabs. He is from Guyana. I'm actually not sure of the type of shellfish off the coast there, but I assume there's all kinds of crabs there.
So because he's from Guyana, he has crabs. Okay.
Do you have crabs?
Well, there's a coastline in Guyana, but nobody in my family was anywhere near the coast, so no crabs.
Monkey Puncher says, of course the good ones are always taken. Jeffrey, Randy, Radio Ron, Bronny James, Keon, Dylan Cohen,
and Ralph.
But
she'd have to say or gay.
Oh my god! But Monkey Puncher, did you meet some artist at the fireworks show?
Yeah, what happened to that? What happened? Well, he doesn't have a job.
That's the thing is he doesn't have any money.
So it'd have to be true love. Heavy Metal Maniac says, anybody coming to the game tonight, look for Beer Man number 16. Ice cold beer hip. Yeah, Randy's not here to hit the button on your call there, but I think I did it. Sorry. So yeah, look for number 16 and get your beer from Heavy Metal Maniacs over there at the Bank One ballpark. I think they call it the Chase now. Whatever.
It's Chase Field.
Yeah, whatever. Big George says, thanks, Ralph, for your anal analysis on Paul Sewald. I value your opinion as the leader of the Weekend Warriors.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Well, Big George is not sarcastic. He's a pretty sincere guy.
After all the years of Ralph coming around here, he doesn't take compliments very well now.
Yeah.
Well, not when the anal's included. No, that throws me a little bit.
That's just a thing we say around here.
No, Ralph generally talks out his ass. Come on.
The anal analysis joke pops up often enough.
The Jet says Ralph's not married, but his wife is.
Good point.
So, do you want to hear some real bull crap right now?
Think about that one.
Do you want to hear some real bull crap?
Sure. I mean, you don't sound excited about it, but let's give it a shot.
So, Ann Wolf, Pulitzer Prize winning writer in Mississippi. She is the one actually won that Pulitzer for exposing the Mississippi fraud scheme that has led to the lawsuit against Brett Favre.
Oh.
Well, now she's facing prison. She is, because she won't give up her sources.
Yeah, that's some BS. Yeah.
Yeah. So this could be a contempt finding, and that could mean incarceration. And she's like, yeah, if one of us goes to jail, will we be the first person to go to jail in the Mississippi welfare scandal? She says, how can I make promises to sources that I'm going to keep them confidential if this is possible? So she's like, no, I'm not giving it up. So she might go to jail for that. I don't understand. I mean, I do, but I don't. I mean, there's got to be some sort of something that could be done to protect a journalist's sources, you know, like maybe the judge gets to see it, but nobody else does. Because if the other side gets to see it, it gets released and this person is now outed. But maybe a thing where if a judge can put a gag order on the defendant and the plaintiff and on people and juries and this and that, why can't they put a gag order on themselves? So where they look at it and go, okay, I see. All right, that's credible. And they just leave it at that.
I thought sources were protected.
Well, by the Constitution.
By the Constitution, but also when it comes to how specifically a source is protected, that actually varies from state to state. So there are more or less protections depending on what state you're in.
But there's federal oversight on that law, isn't there, though?
Well, you got to go to the Mississippi Supreme Court first.
Yeah. So they would have to take that to a higher court. If this were to be an issue and they were to force the issue on this, they would have to go to a higher court. And at that point, I think she'd be more protected.
Right.
But yeah, at the Mississippi state level, I'll just be honest, they don't have a whole lot of protections for journalists in that state. So
$77 million in federal funds that were supposed to go to Mississippi's poorest citizens stolen. And nobody involved with these crimes have gone to jail yet. Not one person. Multiple indictments. Not one person has been jailed for stealing that money. And yet now this journalist who broke the story is going to go to jail unless she rats out her sources.
And the thing is,
unbelievable,
that makes that really bad is it's obvious why she can't give up her source, which is that the governor was implicated in her reporting. That's one reason why you can't almost trust the that they're going to be safe if you turn anything over to a judge without a legal backing on that, is because that person is going to be, they're probably part of the state government. So that person is going to be, blackballed essentially from working ever again. And I can't imagine that this is a wealthy person or a rich person.
I mean, this goes either way, right? I agree with everything you're saying, but at the same time, what if her source is not credible?
But the thing is, they're not talking about the credibility of it.
Well, the credibility can be established by, okay, now here's the source, broke the story. The investigations that were direct have produced the results that prove that the source was credible.
This is where I agree with you, is they should be able to do that in an anonymity between the judge and the attorneys to reveal that source and keep it quiet.
Between the judge and attorney. I don't think the other side's attorney should ever know, because that will get released.
Fair. But that's how it should be done. I mean, that just makes that's common sense.
But the legal investigation proved that the source was right. So it's not about the credibility of the source.
Okay.
This is about
intimidation.
Trying to figure out who that source is.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, to weed them out. And she's just not going to do it because that's
the right thing. She's right. I mean, and
she's ethically correct, but unfortunately, in her state, legally, she doesn't have a whole lot to stand on until this thing gets to a federal level.
Kind of reminds me of season 3 of Newsroom.
I would drive my ass right out of that state.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's Mississippi. You should not have ever driven in. But I understand. But some you've got to live somewhere, and people live in Mississippi, so I get that. But it does stink to see that, because the people who are actually wrong here, and again, including the governor of the state, who is saying to Brett Favre in text, "Hey, this looks really bad. Are you sure this isn't going to come back on me if I make sure you get this money?" Like, it couldn't be more cut and dry that these people did something absolutely wrong. They stole money from the taxpayers of Mississippi.
It's crazy.
It could not be more plain. And none of them has been punished for it yet.
Well, she now faces prison as a result of a civil lawsuit filed by former Governor Phil Bryant. So let's see if Anna Wolf, as the, I don't know if she, I mean, you got to look, I don't know how old she is. I don't know what her situation is. Can she even handle going to jail for her convictions, for her, to save her sources?
I wonder if it's one of those things where you'll go to jail, and until you give your source up, you sit in jail.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So it's a day-by-day thing, and it's your choice.
Yeah. Somebody's going to step in on this, man. Hey, Big George,
so.
why don't you go fix this?
Yeah, do something.
Go take care of some business.
You got big feet. Go step in.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we have other assorted things to talk about. Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Not all policies will qualify. Not available in all states.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. The Foster Care Review Board is a panel that advises our juvenile courts on the best interests of children in out-of-home care. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about the Foster Care Review Board. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool's been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
4th of July appliance savings are happening now at the Home Depot, so upgrade with innovative appliance brands like GE Profile. Modernize your kitchen with a new GE Profile 4-door French door refrigerator with hands-free auto-fill dispenser. And with the GE Profile Ultra-Fast Combo Washer Dryer, you can tackle large loads in about 2 hours. Save up to $2,400 on select kitchen packages with 4th of July savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing about June 19th through July 10th, US only. See store online for details.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. I guess the Hurricane Bernie, what do they call it? Hurricane Bertrude? What is it called?
I actually don't know.
Beryl? Oh, brother, pot. It's the South, so let's call it Hurricane Bile. Anyway, the hurricane hit the Texans stadium. They got a hole in it.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, they say it kind of put a ding in that stadium, so they're not sure if they're going to have that ready by August 17th when they have their first preseason game. So, Category 1 hurricane, that means winds of 80 miles an hour, so some kind of minor damage on there, but we shall. I'm sure they can fix it. The NFL has tons and tons of money. We'll talk about how much money a little bit later, but before we do anything, we went 3 hours yesterday, and I was promising to kind of fill you in on some cool stuff about what's happening this season. Totally forgot. Each and every single time.
We did have a lot of stuff to get to yesterday.
So I'm going to tell you now the cool stuff. Now, this is pretty cool stuff. Now, first off, as you know, from listening to this show, the NFL season is bigger than ever. The season's longer, and now there's more games and more days, and it's scattered all over the place. We have tons and tons of games. Now, once again, we're your official home for the NFL primetime broadcast from Westwood One. That is a done deal. We're very happy about that. So Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night football, all heard here on 1580 The Fanatic. Then we have another friendship with our friends at Sports USA. That will give us Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon football games. So, there's going to be some days where we got the entire day just chock full of football. Now, when the Cardinals play, we're not allowed to play a game. I think that's dumb as hell. I do.
Like no game of any kind.
Can't. No game of any kind can air on any radio station in town when the Cardinals are playing.
Okay, I agree with you. That seems
selfish.
That seems communistic.
That's communist.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Somehow got back to random text.
Random texter's like, sounds good to me. I think
Yeah,
that's
he
fair.
probably has something to do with it. I wouldn't doubt it.
It's reasonable. Come on now. So, but outside of that, we got tons and tons of NFL. And again, we got the Christmas games. We got the Black Friday games. We got the full day of Thanksgiving games. We have all the playoffs. We have the Super Bowl. We have more NFL than we've ever had before, along with the morning and afternoon games. So we are truly your home for the NFL here at 1580 The Fanatic. Now, along with that, I also was able to get us signed up for a crap ton of college football games.
Oh, yeah.
Way more than we've ever had before. Every week, we're going to have a great matchup for you on a Saturday, and we're peppering more games throughout the week wherever we can find a place. It's not just so we can get time off from the show. It's not just.
It's
not
is that a factor? Yes. Is it the only factor? Of course not.
Yeah, we just we want to take care of you guys. So
biggest factor, yes.
Well, now hold on.
This is not important.
Why rank things? You know what I mean?
So all the NFL games, tons of college games, and of course, we got more stuff in store for you as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know, and part of this as we work these schedules out is, for me, I don't know if it's nerding out or I like that kind of tedium, but I had to personally, specifically put each and every game in, and I did. I got a certain amount of joy from just doing that. Just typing in each and every single game. And so here's the first week. On September 7th, we got Texas at Michigan. And then for our games, we got Las Vegas Raiders and Chargers on Sunday, the first Sunday of football. And then on Monday, we got the Jets and the San Francisco 49ers. Oh my God, I feel like that's going to be a stomp. Doesn't that seem like it'll be
well,
Aaron Rodgers?
We got Aaron Rodgers. If he manages to survive the first few drives of the game.
Let's just see how long his game lasts.
Yeah. Then we might actually have a good game.
Well, this will be a good game. Thursday night football that week. Bills at Dolphins.
Oh yeah,
that'd be a good game.
Both of those games were really fun. Even one was a blowout last year, but even that game was pretty fun and interesting because it was close for most of the game.
So yeah, we're pretty happy to see what it happens this season, and so now we're set. We are your home for the NFL. So suck on that, everyone else. 888-368-1580. Oily Stool says, did you just say that the Daily Blender is going 4 hours daily and now on Saturdays? Are you high?
I heard. Those are just different words than any words that were spoken.
Not only are you lucky I don't just make this show 2 hours, you're lucky I'm here at all.
What? Where do you get your weed? I just think that seems effective for you.
Hefty Lefty has an idea for the Texans stadium. He says, tell Mattress Mac to duct tape some mattresses in the Holden Stadium. It'll be fine.
It's not his stadium.
That might work. I don't think anybody's ever been killed by a falling mattress, have they?
I'm sure. I mean, someone must have, right? Like, surely it's.
Don't feel like that's something you die from.
Maybe a box spring.
I mean, any from high enough, a mattress anything will kill anything.
It just kind of, But you're right. The back string, that thing starts spinning, come down at you with force.
That'll kill you. A mattress, I don't know.
Take your head right off.
If a mattress is falling from high enough, I guess the air is going to catch some of that momentum. But I mean,
maybe a waterbed. I don't know.
A waterbed will kill you instantly. Yeah. Well, no, wait, not the mattress, just the bed.
Just the bed.
All of the above. I think that's killing you.
What is the height of the hole? We don't know.
That's a good point. Good point.
Sounds dirty, but it's not.
Might as well be.
Oily Stool says weed is legal up here in Canada, man.
It's legal here too. So now what?
In some places.
In some places, but I just mean here in Arizona.
T-Licious says I'm right. He says this will be a stomp, Jeffrey. Niners own Rodgers' bitch ass. I love my guy Salah, but we're gonna kill them. I don't know if I'd say that about Rodgers. You know what I mean? He's
he has struggled against the Niners the last handful of times that they've played, but counterpoint, Breece Hall is a really good running back, and Garrett Wilson's a great wide receiver.
I love Breece Hall.
Guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good player. Yeah, I know. When he's your player in fantasy football,
He sucked last year.
When I had him in fantasy football, he was amazing.
He was coming off of an injury. Of course,
And
he
there,
wasn't.
and there was no Aaron Rodgers, so he sucked.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
that hurt. That hurt.
Okay, yeah. If Zach Wilson's throwing the ball, are you really going to drop guys in coverage?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
And yeah, it's just not his fault. His quarterback was so bad that teams didn't have to respect the pass at all.
I can't pick him again.
I mean, I will, but
I have. Get flashback.
Well, you're not picking him first round.
I drafted him both years that he was available, and the first year was great, and the second year wasn't. That's kind of how it went.
Yeah.
First year was really good, though.
I was bummed that I think I was bummed that Ralph took him because I was like, oh, I would have loved to have that guy.
I took him right before you were going to grab him.
And then I was like, thank you, Ralph.
Then it worked out.
Thank you. So you and I were sitting there at home, right? You're sitting there at home. You're watching the game, and the cheerleaders come up, and you're like, he's like, oh, look, there's cheerleaders. You know, okay. So they're there, always doing their thing. Have you ever been in the stadium and felt like the cheerleaders have helped you cheer on? Does it help to have cheerleaders? Do you feel like
that's more
affects
that's more of a college thing?
Your glee? I don't know even what to call it. Where you're like, yay! Well, thank God for the cheerleader. Also, I wouldn't have known to do that.
In college, the cheerleaders do a bunch of things. You know, like they actually throw the cheerleaders up and all that stuff. In the NFL, not so much.
Yeah,
they're just eye candy.
It's
I
a
don't care
dance
what-
team.
It's eye candy. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Let's be honest.
But do we need them out? Because I'll be honest.
No,
with
we
you.
don't.
Can I be honest?
we don't.
HD TV has really done a number on these gals. You know, where you,
what?
Oh my God! Remember when cheerleaders used to be good looking? Nowadays it's just like
I think they still are, but that's okay.
really. No.
I mean, I've always
I,
thought the Charger cheerleaders and the USC cheerleaders have always been good.
Yeah, okay.
Those two. I mean, and
Well,
the
whether they're
Raiderettes.
good looking or not, is it helping? Are
It's
you
helping
cheered?
somebody.
Are you cheered?
Some
I
people
just
are.
Feel like it's kind of a waste of time.
Somebody is. I don't know. I don't see the point personally.
Some people think it's demeaning. Some people think it's a good thing. I guess it just depends who you talk to. I don't know. What do they make? 25
Times have
bucks a game?
changed. Times have changed.
It's not a lot, and they have for how much they
35,
have
you're
to
close.
practice and the time that they have to take off from their actual jobs to do this.
It's a
They're-
status thing.
Yeah, they're not. They just, or some of them just like the team. Like they just, all right, I get to be close to the team. I get to be around the game.
Are these girls all dumb?
No,
Because they get $35 a game. This one gal, there's a Netflix show about this. And this gal, she's like, oh, I think my game day fee was $35. And I end up donating basically that back, meaning, by buying food or doing who God knows
Yeah,
what.
it's because they're fans of the team usually.
Or the game. Yeah.
Like
they love it.
I have a friend who dated a Miami Heat cheerleader. She's just a big fan of the team. She just loved being around the game.
All right,
I'm
well,
a
I
fan
guess
of him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. First off, out of his league in ways I cannot describe. Like we were just genuinely like, how did you manage that? And then of course he fumbled it because even he didn't know how he managed it. So that's how that works. But yeah, no, they just a lot of cheerleaders. They're in the area. They love the team. That's how they wind up being in the situation in the first place.
All power to him.
This Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, Catherine Purier, she says, I would say I'm making like a Chick-fil-A worker that works full-time money.
Yeah, but that's a status thing to be a cowgirl.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows it.
Yeah, but what do they get out of it?
All the apperances, the fan. I mean, some of them actually
All the
can make
work?
money.
They don't seem to
can
make any money on
They
this.
almost make more money doing other things.
Right.
and
It
like
opens, up, it opens up doors.
I mean,
well, back in the day, it opened up the doors for Playboy and other things like that where they made a lot of money.
But
other opportunities.
But even nowadays, it's like it's more stuff locally. It's more like,
Yeah,
hey,
true.
your local bar is going to say, hey, meet so and so, or you've got trivia night hosted by blah, and like it's better money than you make actually doing the actual actual thing.
there's an ex-Raiderette that now is she's a lawyer and she's a political analyst. And
there's only
Yeah,
exceptions
I
to the
do-
rule, but in general,
I just
you
think
know what
if
I'm
you're
saying?
shelling out billions of coin for a team and you've got cheerleaders, if you feel like the cheerleaders are necessary enough to have, you should just pay those people more. But that's just me, I guess.
it's true though. How do they get away with $35 a game?
I don't know.
I'd like to know
'Cause
how they
that's-
do
that. That feels criminal to me.
Because that's what 3
For-
hours. They do what 3-4 hours of work for $35.
Yeah, because I
They
mean,
don't even make minimum wage.
Well,
It's
keep in
illegal in some
mind,
states.
you got to put on the clothing and you got to put all the makeup on there. Right?
Right.
Some of them probably should put on more, but then you got to go out there and you got to practice. So it's not just the $35
practice,
of game
and
day.
then also it's like all during your life, if you gain 5 or 6 pounds, they know, and they're looking at you like, okay, are you gonna drop that, or like, so you can't even eat what you want to eat during the season because if you gain a pound or two, you're off the team.
So they're contractors, aren't they? They're not employees.
I think that's the loophole there.
Well, here's what one of them says. I
'Cause-
can't
'cause
tell
that's-
you
that's
every
a-
dollar amount because I don't read my contract all the way to the end. Oh, she's brilliant.
Or 19.
She says,
like,
I think it says something about you're not allowed to disclose this stuff. So she didn't say it, but then a few minutes later she did.
it's I mean, a lot of them are also because they choose younger women. So it's like if you're 19, like you could be dumb, or you could just be 19. Like what? I've never met a smart 19-year-old, so like I don't know.
Wow.
What, like, how many of them are actually that smart? It's not her.
I'm not going to argue that. I'm just saying,
It's,
wow.
it's that they're preying on that though. They're banking on the fact that you're a kid, you don't know anything.
I mean, I would assume they're independent contractors because otherwise, legally, you'd have to pay
Yeah.
them minimum wage, or you'd get in trouble. So they must be independent contractors,
Which of course means you're responsible for your own taxes,
right?
Out of the $35 a game that they
Yeah,
give
you're not
you.
going to make the
You're making
$600
$20.
required. So
Yeah,
Right.
they know that they're not doing this for actual money.
yeah, it's not a money play.
Like it's pretty obvious very quickly. Oh yeah, I'm not making any cash.
Well,
on
here's
this at
my
all.
favorite line about this. One of the ladies says, these millennials, X-Gen, whatever they're called, they look at it as a job. All of us old timers, we look at it as more of a privilege. She's like 26. So
Old timers, 26.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because she's about to be done by the standards of how they hold them to it. It's not me saying that. When you get to about to be 27, 28, you're old by the standards
I
of
think the
a
other one-
cheerleader. They want you out the door.
The only one making any real money is the one that runs it, like the head person of the cheerleaders.
Probably right.
Because they're
And
the
that
ones.
person sometimes was a cheerleader themselves, and that's
Right.
it's so much worse because that person's like ruthless
Yeah.
in
They-
ways
they
that
have to
nobody
be.
else would be.
So my daughter is an athlete, but she also has spent time cheerleading. And then she's like, okay, this sucks. And she takes a year off. She's like, I don't know, I might do it again. And it's fun for her because at the younger ages, they're doing the flips, they're throwing people around. There's a little more to it. But when you get to the NFL, it's just look pretty and dance and try to be ready to, oh, I'm on camera,
See,
and that's
but
it.
I feel they're different. I feel what your daughter's talking about is cheer.
Right.
This is not cheer.
I don't know what this is.
It's unfortunately
This
that
is
it has-
lap dancing. I mean, this is not.
it
cheer.
has
Oh.
the same name, but like in college, there are actual maneuvers that they do.
Right. Competitions.
Yeah, like there are things that they do beyond
Yeah.
cheering at the games. They,
Totally
Yeah,
different.
so like they're doing their own thing, and then that also happens to be a spectacle at games. Where this is just how little clothes can I put on a human being and get away with it, and then I put you on the sideline of an NFL team. Like it's not quite the same thing.
Kyle G says, last time I noticed cheerleaders at a game, I was in high school. People would rather watch the halftime commentators than these dancers. Hefty Lefty says, cheerleader uniforms for USC makes them all look like they're from the 70s. It's quite an odd optical illusion there.
I like it though.
And let's see.
Kind of a throwback.
Yeah.
King Kitten says it's pronounced Hurricane Burrell. You mean like Purell? What a dumb name for it. And that's the second time they've used this name on a hurricane.
Have they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Knock it off.
I don't keep track of it. I guess I don't know.
I get Noah on the line. Hey guys, knock it off. Chief Skull says, anyone have a suggestion for food in Utah? I don't know what Mormons eat.
I don't know either. I've never been to Utah, so
I know the white people in general like a lot of mayonnaise. So you're
I'd
probably
say
going to get a lot of mayonnaise.
I'd say a twice baked potato.
True. Yeah. Yeah. He says there's a lot of German
Oh.
restaurants, but their Mexican food here sucks.
well,
Well, it's
so-
Utah.
yeah. I have a personal rule. If I'm not in a state that borders Mexico, I don't eat the Mexican food there.
That's a good rule.
It's not a bad rule at all.
So here, all good. When I used to live in Texas, all good.
Yeah, good
I
rule.
went to a restaurant called El Mesón in Tennessee. Worst place I've ever eaten. Just it.
Yeah, I got some looks the other day. We're up in Pine Top, and we go to this Mexican food restaurant. And my wife was like, "Hey, let's go eat out." And so we're sitting there, and I said, "Honey, I'm doing it. I'm getting the chorizo burrito." She gave me that look. I'm like, "I'm on vacation." She's like, "Oh, okay." So I ordered this chorizo burrito, and I'm eating it, and I'm like, "Oh, they gringoized it. It's not it's not authentic. It's for white people." I yelled, "Oh, they gringoized it." Oh, the kitchen gave me a look.
Not a good idea.
No, well, I already had my food.
You already had
They gave me a look like, "Oh, he's on to us." Don't tell the others, but yes, we'll bring you some other stuff.
I mean, that's like going to Taco Bell expecting Mexican food. It's not.
No, this place was cool. It looked authentic as hell. It did. And then, of course, they were shocked when my wife started talking Spanish to them. They were like, "Oh, dear, we've done a thing." You know? Anyway, we got to take a break. When we come back, I don't know what we're talking about. I'll be honest, I have no idea. Don't care. But we're going to do it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but new Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with new Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
4th of July appliance savings are happening now at the Home Depot. So upgrade with innovative appliance brands like GE Profile. Modernize your kitchen with a new GE Profile 4-door French door refrigerator with hands-free auto-fill dispenser. And with the GE Profile Ultra-Fast Combo Washer Dryer, you can tackle large loads in about 2 hours. Save up to $2,400 on select kitchen packages with 4th of July savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid June 19th through July 10th, US only. See store online for details.
Marijuana may be legal in Arizona, but driving impaired is not.
As a police officer here in Arizona, I know DUIs apply to more than just alcohol. Anything that impairs driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving impaired can get you a DUI.
Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with the hashtag HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
If it's local,
we talk about it.
1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
Today's Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So Ryan Garcia, the boxer, I see the story, right? The headline says Ryan Garcia apologizes for racial slurs, announces plans for rehab. Now, I hadn't heard what Ryan Garcia had said, but I thought, well, isn't that just typical? The minute somebody says something that gets them in trouble, I'm going to rehab. Yeah, that's been a thing since as long as I could remember. But I thought, well, that's weird because Ryan Garcia is a 25-year-old Mexican American boxer, and so I was like, oh, I wonder what this is all about. So I click on the story, and they're like, yeah, he said some things. So then I hit the button and I hear it. Holy cow. I don't know if you know what he said, but it was bad. I mean, something is unhinged with this guy because then he started tweeting out all sorts of stuff saying, I take all responsibility for my words. I'm misunderstood. I have a lot of trauma. It's been a tough couple of months, but I am sorry. I struggle with substance abuse and I actually love black people. No cap, which, by the way, my daughter has taught me that only losers say no cap. Yeah, that's like no lie. And I said, well, your brother said that. She's like, yeah, I know. I said what I said. So says, well, I'm actually sad that I offended all my black family and friends. What he said was, I hate N-words. I really do. I hate them. He just went, and I had to turn it off. I was like, okay, I don't need to hear another moment of this.
Single word.
You know how they say, don't bury the lead. He did not bury the lead at all.
So there's that.
Just right up front. I don't have to listen anymore to find out what the horrible thing is he said. Thank you, I guess, for that much. But so he's all like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, I hate pedos. It's just like, what? That has nothing to do with what's happening here. What are you
entirely
talking about?
unrelated, but sure.
Ryan Garcia is out of his damn mind. I don't know what his deal is. So yeah, rehab's probably a good idea. Probably a little mental health help is probably a good idea.
I mean, he gets punched in the head for a living. Of course, he's out of his mind.
Yeah, but there is.
But some of these guys get so messed up.
Levels to it.
Oh,
yeah.
agreed. Absolutely, he was right to get removed. But I mean, when you say what's wrong with him, that's probably part of it.
That is part of it. Either the trauma for being hit in the head, or being the kind of person who's okay with being hit in the head for a job.
Yeah, or he's
one or the other. But yeah, look,
either way, he's wrong.
He also could just be a horrible racist. So. He was
maybe.
I guess he used slurs against
specifically
George
said,
Floyd.
I hate N-words.
And
I mean,
he made
it's not
disparaging
debatable.
remarks against Muslims, and he
pretty
threw
nice.
out the straight up N-word. Straight up, I hate N-word.
So you're saying he has a bias to something here?
It's
I kind of getting the feeling.
Yeah, I think
I mean, they did the right thing getting rid of him.
Like,
I mean,
don't be cryptic, Ryan. Don't
hide your
mince
feelings.
words.
He was on his way to rehab, but he said, "Yeah, I wouldn't let me back in boxing either."
Probably not going to happen.
So he's probably aware of where this is going.
Yeah,
Ralph As Crab says, "Who's Ryan Garcia? Never heard of him. Does he play hockey?" Clearly.
Clearly.
Anyway, so well, whatever's going on, whether it's the brain damage,
but you don't have to use the trauma defense. Just
well, he is throwing out so much craziness in his defense of himself.
He has to.
You're starting to think, yeah, this guy's crazy.
It's indefensible, but he has no choice.
Maybe, but to me, it's like if those things are all wrong with you, then don't bother apologizing. If you're going to apologize, don't go with a but, and then you have a bunch of other excuses. It's like, come on, man, you said the thing. If you're sorry, say sorry. If you're not, move along. I don't have time for this.
I don't think there's any apologizing from that. You know what I'm saying?
It's
I mean,
hard. Yeah, you can't come back.
Doesn't mean he can't be forgiven. Of course,
Sure.
Everybody. But I don't know how you come back from something.
But to me, it's like if you're apologizing, apologize if you're sorry. Don't apologize to get your job back.
And if anybody should know, it's
ship
Ralph.
has sailed.
If anyone should know, it's Ralph.
just threw that out there
I've
needlessly.
been called a WAP many times. I don't care.
Not by me.
Under your breath, maybe.
Yeah, but not by me.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it.
I needed to clear my ear hole palate after I heard that video.
I didn't hear it.
And I found this, and I want to share it with all you now. Did you get the audio that I asked you for? You have that ready?
I do not have it ready.
If only you checked your email. I sent that to you this morning.
You never do audio on this show.
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah, every now and then. That's why I usually send it to Randy. He opens his email. So.
I do open my email. I literally did something with an email I read yesterday.
Opens
Literally
it.
yesterday.
Let me know when you have that audio.
Opens it.
Anyways, this is romantic. All right. I needed something good. And, so if you're looking to get married and you need a wedding song, this might be for you. If this isn't in your mix, if not when you first dance with your wife, it should be at least in the wedding dancing mix.
I've got it.
Okay. This is it's Foreigner. I want to know what love is.
Love that song.
But done with hand farts.
Oh no.
Go ahead, play it. I love they put a little echo on it.
That's so wrong.
After hearing Ryan Garcia, I needed something. That should be in everybody's wedding playlist.
Was that you doing that?
No, it was some German guy.
I thought it was you.
I can, but I haven't practiced enough. I mean, I usually could do even better than that. It's kind of hard to do up to a microphone, but some German fellow whose name eludes me. I posted it up on my Twitter at RadioPal1580. There's a video.
There's a video.
There's a video.
Okay, because I was wondering if he just did like a couple of them and then it got pitch corrected to that tune, or if he actually can make the notes.
Oh yeah,
using the hand farts.
I feel like I could too. I feel like I could too.
Oh my God.
If I had practice. So go to Radio Pal 1580 on Twitter. Scroll down, you'll see it right there. His name is Der Schelm.
You do know someone in the fourth dimension is absolutely gonna try. I don't know how much you're gonna succeed, but try to get this at a wedding.
It's got to be. I'll try. I mean, there's nothing more romantic than I want to know what love is.
There's a video. Oh my gosh!
I told you. Ralph Has Crabs says, in other news, Ryan Garcia has been named the new program director at Fox News. Yeah. Hefty Lefty says, this could be a fun trivia question. Are there any Garcias in NHL history? I would have to think so.
NHL history?
Yeah. National Hockey League?
Yeah.
Guy named Garcia.
Let's see. There's Alex Martinez.
I think Garcia.
I don't know that I know of a Garcia. Not a popular
Keon's
sport.
Googling.
Not a popular Latin sport.
I went to Hockey Reference and they don't have anybody in their entire database with that name.
I mean,
Zero Garcias.
That sport's pretty specific.
T-Licious says, as long as the cheerleaders were like the Washington Sentinels, then we're good.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, right, on that movie. Yeah. Anyway, 888-368-1580. So I figured after the Ryan Garcia thing, we could use that audible palate cleanser for our ear holes. Hey, by the way, Mary told you the NFL had money. Oh, they got money. You know how much they made last year? $13 billion. So even if they lose $4.7 billion in the DirecTV settlement, it's not a settlement. They were actually told they got to pay that. They're okay.
Yeah, they're.
I want my thousands of dollars.
Remember, they can lose up to 3 times that though.
Yeah, that's it was 4.7 billion. So then, yeah, you're talking like 18 million, and hopefully I'll get
$2,000 is the estimation.
A few $1,000s.
Anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 per person.
Listen, I'm waiting till they tell me put your name in because
I'm there.
Yeah,
I've been there since day one. I want my money back.
Yeah, we're all getting money that will then turn around and probably spend on football anyway. So.
They'll raise the rate to $6,000 a year.
Yeah, which is why them crying poor is so silly. It's just like, do you think that anybody that's getting this money is going to spend it on anything else but the NFL?
Like, I'm gonna give it back. Just be patient, Roger.
It's going to be a jersey or a hat or something, but it's coming back. Don't worry.
Yep, it's true.
Big George has jacked up my text line. He sent in this text talking about how I guess. Fry's there was a merger between Albertsons and Kroger's or something. And he says, here is a list of 101 Albertsons and Safeway locations that they're probably going to either sell or close, to complete the merger. And he sent me this in just giant list. And ever since he did, the entire text line is jacked up. And he says, hey, see if, your location has been sold. And it looks like my I think my Safeway got sold.
Oh,
that's where I get my steak. I don't
hopefully
know.
it doesn't change the steak.
I feel like maybe this should have been an email, George. Because now the entire text line is confused by this massive text that you have sent in.
You could have paraphrased it at least.
Why don't you email that to me? And I'm just going to delete this text. I'm going to delete this text right now.
So that we don't get thinky wheel from now until 2029.
This is horrific what you've done to me. Oh, good. Everything's back to normal as soon as I deleted that. All right, so listen up, everybody. In the next hour, I think we got nothing but NFL. Nothing but NFL football to talk about. So we'll do that when we come back. Hour 3 is up next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
4th of July appliance savings are happening now at the Home Depot, so upgrade with innovative appliance brands like GE Profile. Modernize your kitchen with a new GE Profile 4-door French door refrigerator with hands-free auto-fill dispenser. And with the GE Profile Ultra-Fast Combo Washer Dryer, you can tackle large loads in about 2 hours. Save up to $2,400 on select kitchen packages with 4th of July savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing about June 19th through July 10th, U.S. only. See store online for details.
Celebrating 30 years of AmeriCorps looks like building lifetime changemakers in Arizona communities. From serving children alongside First Things First to Executive Director of Prevent Child Abuse Arizona. From the Pinal County Sheriff's Office to the Governor's Office, serving with AmeriCorps today creates limitless potential for every new member to lead Arizona tomorrow. Where will AmeriCorps take you? Join the movement by signing up at serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down, forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third
hour. Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy's not back yet. He's still drunk. We got Ralph hanging out with us from Harmon Solar. Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And here is what I have promised, and it's in my hand right now. Don't cover your eyes. I'm talking about it's just paper. Yes, it's nothing but football this hour. Nothing but NFL football in this hour, and it's going to be various degrees of aggravation and head scratching because we are talking about the NFL in the off season. All right, so we just found out the revenue for the National Football League, $13 billion, and the year before that it was $11.98 billion. This is a lot of money. In 10 years, it's a bazillion. I think the word for the number is bazillion.
That sounds right.
It's a gazillion dollars. And so the NFL has no shortage of money, and yet they still money grub. They still, like I saw a thing where NFL now has slot machines.
What?
Slot machines.
Where?
The NFL branded and licensed slot machines.
At various casinos in Las Vegas, there are slot machines that are licensed by the NFL.
Wow.
Shows money.
Yeah, so you can get you get 4, I don't know, Colts horseshoes in a row.
They bust their players for gambling. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean,
it is a bad optic.
And one of your big sponsors is a betting app. So it's also not great.
So, listen, I've said this before on behalf of myself and Randy and Keon and Ron from CRC Broadcasting and everybody involved. I believe Ralph also. We will sell out in a heartbeat. Yeah, we will absolutely sell out. I don't care.
Maybe
you see this emoji right here. We'll put that on a bathroom stall. We'll put that anything
toilet paper
you want.
Yeah,
we'll sell out in a heartbeat. But
I have a few lines, but not that many.
No. I mean, Ralph and I, we were talking. It's like we could set up a store where you could buy stuff branded with the emoji, and people would buy it. I used to do that. I actually sold a crap ton of T-shirts that said "Kids Cause Cancer." I actually did that.
Wow.
Sold so well. That was one of the biggest sellers, and it was like crayon print. How like little kids, just says "Kids Cause Cancer." And when you walk by somebody in the store, you're thinking it's like, oh, it's a fighting cancer for kids shirt, but you realize, oh my God, that's a very, very horrible shirt you're wearing. As long as the emoji logo is right next to it, we're selling out and making money.
You know how many Sir shirts you can sell?
You would sell quite a few.
That's probably some Sir underwear.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, I put the SIR right down the crack.
I can already see what Moist One's going to do with that. I'd prefer it be a shirt.
Would you? I want to put a picture of Ralph in the front of some Speedos.
Right, that's exactly my shirt.
Right on the crotchal area.
Crotchal area.
Yeah.
With crabs and stuff.
Oh, we'll have artwork of little crabs, all stuff all around. There'll be a skid mark already printed into it for you.
This stuff would sell.
You're damn right it would. One of these days, we're going to get around to doing these things.
I'll autograph.
Mm-hmm.
Running that crab's head.
Prison Wallet says, what was the profit margin on that $13 billion? Personally, I think they deserve it. Well, listen, they own it. They deserve the money that they earn from it. Absolutely. I got no problem saying that somebody owns a team. They put it out there. They do the business. They deserve the money they get. What they don't deserve is to cry poor and jack up prices on us, the people who have gotten them to where they are. But they're going to continue to squeeze the blood from Turnip you and Turnip me.
And I don't know that they deserve all of it. Like you said,
what don't they deserve?
They jack up prices. They own these buildings that the stadiums are.
Well, and they get some paid for from taxpayer money?
Exactly. But when push comes to shove, it's the owner that's deciding what happens with it. So like you're getting subsidized by taxpayers. When it comes to the jerseys, the qualities of these jerseys haven't stayed up, but they charge you.
Not like we're playing in them.
Not like you're playing in them, but like if you're going to charge people over $100 in the cases, if you want to get some of the higher end jerseys, a couple $100 for the jersey, quality should be good then. Like we're not talking about you spent $50 on a jersey. We're talking about they're charging $199 for some of these.
Well, the on-field stuff is good. If you get the
Yeah,
real jersey,
but that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like you have
but it's
to.
$300.
Yeah, those are pretty pricey.
And I'm just like, no, like the pricing in the NFL, they've got us, but that doesn't mean they deserve it. Like
But
that's not the same thing at all.
$13 billion, and they're paying a cheerleader $35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
That
you
doesn't
think,
look
do you
good.
think that they got the 13 billion just by being good business people? No,
No.
they were screwing over several people, including you, the fan, all along the way. So absolutely not. No, I refuse to buy that.
Let me ask you a question, Keon.
I just
Do
don't.
good people walk like this?
Yeah, what is
I-
that?
What was that?
That scared me a little bit.
It was just.
It's like that.
It was like a cartoon character idea.
It's
but
the
not-
happy cartoon
not-
character.
Yeah, like not like a Carlton Banks or somebody, not like
Carlton Banks. That's what Jeffrey just looked like doing that.
I thought it looked good.
Do the Carlton, you know.
Yeah, he was doing it.
Did I just get honkied over here? I feel like
Yeah,
I just
you
got
did.
honkied.
Absolutely.
Kyle G says, sell out to the Browns, Jeffrey. They could use that logo on their helmets. Maybe the Commandos too. Better than a big W. I will never sell out anything to the Browns.
The Browns paid a rapist to be their quarterback. They get nothing.
Oh, by the way, speaking of your team, the Commandos, the big story about the Commandos that came out today, headline, Commandos bringing back gold pants this season.
It's about damn time.
Oh, that'll be nice.
That matters to you?
Yeah, because that's what the old jerseys used to look like. At any time the teams have been remotely passable and good, that's what they've had. And the fans have wanted that for a long time. And to me, the best news about that is not specifically the pants so much that they're
You weren't even alive when this happened.
Yes, I was.
1978.
Yeah, that was the original, but then they brought it back in the 90s and took them away. And then they brought them back in
2010.
Yeah, and then they took them away. And now they're bringing them back, and I think they're staying this time because
It's like the McRib.
Yeah, I think this ownership group realizes, like, hey, if the fans want something and it's not insane to do, just do it.
They want their tradition back.
Yeah, and the pants.
Oh, shut up, Ralph.
No, they do.
I know
don't-
where you're going with it.
I didn't go there at all. I'm just saying what they want. Guys, the older fans want the tradition back. The whole
And-
hogs and
I think
everything.
they just
love
want a
that.
good team back.
Yeah,
They're getting that.
But part of that is also listening to your fan base and saying, "Hey guys, hang in there with us.
Yeah.
We're working on trying to get the team back to not just being dressed like when the team was a winning franchise, but also building a winning franchise."
Yeah.
I have two disturbing Joe Burrow stories.
Two. I
Yeah.
thought there was just one.
No, there's two.
Oh boy.
First one, it's a little disturbing if you're a fan of the Bengals. Joe Burrow says, I really want to play for the Olympic flag football team.
Oh my gosh.
You don't want him doing this because he's just now coming back from an injury, been working on that wrist issue, and him like, oh boy, I just really want to play for the Olympic flag football team. Like me, Jamar, Justin, me and my friends out there playing football, it'd just be really cool. But there's still potential for injury, and the real high stakes games are played in the fall, Joe. Maybe not the guy who just got injured, and had surgery. And I don't know if I'd want any of my guys running around out there doing it because you're like, oh, well, there's no contact. Yeah, you're running out there. You could sprain an ankle. People say, well, you could sprain an ankle in practice. Well, it makes more sense to do that in practice
Yeah.
because there's a purpose. This is, yes, for your country. It's for a gold medal, but is that
And
serious?
also, flag football is different enough from tackle football that, like, let the guys who play flag football for money handle the flag
Yeah,
football
I feel
thing.
like our Frisbee golfers could handle business for the country when it comes to flag football.
Just let them take care of it. It's fine.
And the worst injuries happen without contact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the ACL tear could also
Yes,
happen
Always
with no
without contact. When you see someone go down without a contact, they're done.
Well, that was Kyler Murray when he went
Achilles-
down.
Yeah, the
Achilles,
Achilles just blows, right?
yeah, I mean,
Right.
when it's gonna go, it's gonna go. You'd rather have that in training camp than at the Olympics.
Right.
So that was disturbing enough by itself.
Yeah.
I want to play for the Olympic flag football team.
The only saving grace there is that not his call, and I don't think they're even close to having NFL players compete in this thing. So
Or tell him if he gets hurt, he forfeits his salary for the next season that he's out. Then you can play.
Quarterbacks would love to sign a contract that says that.
But he won't do it.
No.
But if you want to play that, if you really want to play that bad, just do
thing
that.
is, if you get hurt, you forfeit your contract and your salary for the next year. Are you still under contracts?
Stay under contract, but you don't get paid. That's what you have to give up.
Well, no, because then if I'm not getting paid, then why do I have to work for you?
Well, no, because if you don't get hurt, then everything's good. But if you get hurt, you forfeit that salary. If you're willing to take
what
that risk,
do they do that?
Oh, my sports.
Yeah, Ralph's imaginary land of
I'm
sports.
just saying, if I was an owner, I'd say I would absolutely let you go to the Olympics. But this is what happens if you get hurt. You have to give them some kind of a penalty for the sin. I mean, you do.
And the thing is, the fact that qualifies as a sin is everything.
Well,
we
you know
need
what
to
I mean,
here.
though.
I'm not even blaming you for that. It's just that the NFL is such big money.
Right,
that
and it's a huge
funny.
loss.
We don't have any problem going, yeah, Kevin Durant over in France. That's fine.
If that were the case, I wouldn't even leave the house until game day out of fear something might happen to me.
Jeez.
So Joe Burrow saying he wants to play for the Olympics. If you're a fan, well, that could be disturbing.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that.
But I think this probably takes the disturbing cake. I guess Joe Burrow went to Paris Fashion Week because that's what you do when you're just a quarterback, right? You go to Paris Fashion Week. And so he shows up there and we're like, well, it's Paris Fashion Week. You got to do something. And then they're like, here, wear this. And he's like, oh, okay. He's never going to hear the end of this. A lot of times you'll see a gal, she'll have a backless gown or something like that, or some sort of crazy, or that gal with a swan dress or that. Well, Joe Burrow is like, well, if a gal can have a backless gown, why can't I have a backless suit?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So what you got there, if you can see it on the screen, normal looking suit from the front, but a big old hole in the back where it looks like somebody took a bite out of it, took the shirt and the jacket.
Yeah,
That's not disturbing. That might be the single most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
Well,
fell
so
off a motorcycle.
Whose
That's
idea
horrible.
was this? This is fantastic.
if his teammates don't have T-shirts with that picture on it,
Absolutely.
they're doing it wrong.
You know, Jamar Chase is sitting at home with a bunch of them.
Just the dumbest looking thing I've ever
backless
seen.
Suit.
I mean, listen, it gets hot in Arizona. Here, it might actually make a little sense if let's say you're a TV newscaster and you're standing there with your normal suit, but you never turn around and nobody
Sure.
gets to see the air conditioning. But this was in Paris, and this guy is just walking around with a big old chunk out. I mean, it was like the entire back of his suit, but in the shape of a guitar pick. I think it's the best way to.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah. If you like experimental fashion, I mean, good for you. But at some point, that you've got to draw a line somewhere. It just looks silly. Like it doesn't look
That's
good. It
horrible.
doesn't look cool or interesting.
Somebody was ironing a suit and they left the iron on there and they
Oopsie.
cut around.
And the thing is,
He'll
like,
never notice.
the shirt doesn't seem to be lined up with the suit. So like the shirt's kind of hanging a little lower.
Well, and the back of the
It's-
suit, I don't know if you can see on the picture here, it's tied together with a string at the bottom just to sort of hold it together, which means if you untie that, it's open in the entire back of it.
Yeah, now it looks like he's wearing a schmuck.
And he's got a tail for some unknown reason. That I don't understand.
Those are going to be hanging up all over the locker room when he gets to camp.
If everybody's not wearing
if
that.
I were on his team, I'd hang them myself.
Or everybody should
It's a-
order one of those. And be
Yeah,
wearing
and,
that
and
that
show up to the.
Yeah.
In fact, don't even do anything in camp. Just show up to
Listen.
week one, the
Yeah.
game.
be
Everybody's got a
hilarious.
backless suit.
Everybody is on task. They already know what they need to do. The entire Bengals squad is ready to go, and not just his former teammate Justin Jefferson, who was with him, like laughing his ass off the entire time. He knew it was up there. So yeah, it's going to be bad when he gets back.
That's just one of those. Look, just run it past your friends, and you don't have to listen to them. If they're laughing and you're like, no, I'm still going to do it. Fine, but at least here's somebody out that's not going to tell you just, yeah, that's fine. 'Cause they lied to you.
Single opponent that he has next season is coming up.
Oh, absolutely.
There's going to be signs on the sideline.
Listen, when they play the Browns, Myles Garrett is going to bring it up every single time he gets back to sack him.
He says, I've been ribbed in just about every group chat I could possibly be roasted in with other players from other teams, from our own team.
And you
He says,
deserve it.
everybody is giving me crap over that. It's been relentless. He has not heard anything else but about that suit since it happened. So
why
game
would
day
you
is going to
assume
be
otherwise?
interesting.
It's going to be insufferable.
Why would you put that on?
And
He
then
just
go
shows up.
outside.
It's fashion week, so he's like, all right, whatever. Yeah,
No.
put it on.
There are so many
He's an idiot
fashionable
kid.
things that make sense to wear.
There's
You don't
cameras.
have to wear that. That's not the only option you had. It wasn't backless suit or nothing.
In my entire life, at any of my various degrees of success, I've always been able to just no.
Just say no.
Yeah.
Hey, will you put this on? Hey, we want to put here. I was going to be on TV. Did you put on this thing in it? No, I'm not doing this.
If you're a professional
No.
athlete, you know what you're doing in the weight room. There are some guys that are like, you know what? My back is chiseled like the side of a damn mountain. Absolutely. Give that to me. That's just not you. You're not, that's not you. Like people who have like abs just go out of their way to continually show them to
Well, you
everybody.
had the abs. It's at the back. You can't see the abs. And how really impressed are you by a muscular back? I mean, there's only you don't see.
I'm not saying it's something you're supposed to be impressed by, but if you actually had one you were proud of, I could wrap my head around it.
I like how he's looking at us like we have nothing to be proud of.
I don't have a
I'd
muscular.
walk
I don't have a
backwards.
muscular back. I would not be wearing a backless suit either, to be honest.
I'd rather wear frontless.
I'll wear crotchless.
Frontless. Yeah, that's called just opening a suit. That's just.
Yeah, I mean that would look better.
I mean, sure,
You're right. The
you'd
suit
walk
is open if you just unbutton
yeah.
it, Ralph.
Now, granted, if you just wear a suit and just show the front of you like Omarion in the early 2000s,
The most
fine,
I would
but-
do is show up to the French fashion show and I'd button the bottom button just to really piss them off. You know, you're only supposed to button the top button in your suit. So I would just only button the bottom and go suck on it right there. Eh?
Wow.
Look at that button. Look at that button.
Wow.
Bottom button, no top
The
button.
thing is, there'd be some fashion person that would be like, he's genius. Like, no, there's somebody that would absolutely go,
Might
why,
be lifted in on their
Yeah.
shoulders.
why didn't we think of this before? You know, just yeah.
Hook'em Hottie says, I think a muscular back is sexy, but not in a suit. Not in that suit.
There's no version of this that works. That's just the best case scenario, and he doesn't have that either.
Second girl in a row. It's almost exactly the same. I find a muscular back just as sexy as a muscular six pack in the front, but the sexiest thing I find on a man is in a man with a brain.
Because at that point, if you want to show off your back and you have it, again, just judging from that picture, Joe does not.
No.
A tank top would work.
Yeah.
Tank
top's fine.
It does the same thing, and it makes sense as an article of clothing.
Bite My Kebab says the first lady that sees one of those extremely hairy guys wearing a backless suit, and it's over. It's all over.
We need one of those guys. Kill backless suits now before they become a problem.
Before we go to break, Ralph Has Crabs says, Keon, I heard Kevin Durant is out for tomorrow's Team USA warm-up game against Canada with a calf strain. I believe Suns fans are pretty much used to hearing that, right? Shut up, Ralph Has Crabs.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, but it's a precautionary thing.
It's just the Olympics.
And
we're gonna
it's
beat everybody.
But this isn't even the Olympics. This is a warm-up match. Just
does he even have a calf to strain, man? That was from Bottle Rocket. Thank you. Oily Stool says, are we certain that the women who text into the show are not Stepford wife robots? No, but I've met Hook'em Hottie. She's real.
Yeah, she's a real person.
She could be a robot. I don't know.
But she'd be a very convincing robot then, if she is. But I think she's a real person.
She's a Japanese model because she's very small. That's all I can tell you. I mean,
she's a tiny person.
She's very small. She's compact.
I believe petite.
I don't remember her being Japanese.
She's just this shy of being midget. Serious. Yeah. I'm saying she's a Japanese. She's made in Japan.
Oh, I got you.
They made everything smaller back in the day. The electronics and stuff. Just saying. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More football. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NFL teams gearing up for training camp opening up later this month. And Jim Harbaugh, the new coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, is the betting favorite to be the AP NFL regular season coach of the year. Harbaugh, who led Michigan to a national championship last season, has had NFL experience in the past, leading the 49ers to a Super Bowl berth. Harbaugh is plus 900 to win Coach of the Year honors. Raheem Morris, who is the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, is plus 1,000. Matt Eberflus of the Chicago Bears, also plus 1,000. D'Amico Ryans, the head coach of the Houston Texans, at plus 1,400. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Not all policies will qualify. Not available in all states.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Cars aren't the only vehicle on our roads. Arizona drivers, don't forget to look out for motorcycles. That means checking your blind spots. Motorcycles are hard to see day or night. They move and stop quickly too. So keep your distance whenever you see them and stay focused on the road, not your phone. Make sure you're protecting everyone on our streets. Stay on the lookout for motorcycles. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30-50-70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit IQannuity.com.
With the first pick. Now that the draft is in the books, it's that time of the season when the team gets together, to get acquainted. Summer means mini camp, OTAs, then pre-season. Keep yourself tuned to the station with all the insight, updates, and breaking news you need to know about the NFL offseason. If it's the NFL, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, and Hook'em Hottie wants you all to know that she's not a robot, and she makes her man wax his back. Poor bastard. Hey, I mean, we know more about your man than we need to. He's got a hairy back, and
if she doesn't like back hair, you don't have back hair. That's really.
And there's some occasional screaming going on from Hook'em Hottie's apartment, not in the good way.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she doesn't do it herself. I'm assuming.
She should.
I'm assuming she's just like go somewhere and have.
Maybe she's like the CEO from The Boys, for all you know. If you've seen that show. I love about The Boys on Prime, on Amazon Prime. It just gets. Every episode you're like, why am I watching this? And then you're like, should I be watching this? Is my mental health going to be okay from watching this? And then when you watch it and you get up to the very last episode where the CEO that I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Well, even the other thing where you're like, now you're kind of used to it. And now you're like, my wife, we were watching one episode. She's like, this one's kind of slow. like, slow. There were flying sheep and cows and gross things and horrible things that she's like, well, compared to other episodes, this one was kind of
that's what the prime of Game of Thrones was you'd be asking yourself in season 1 and 2, should I? This is awful. I shouldn't. And then by season 4, you just watch a guy get smushed by someone's hands, and you're like, wow, that's bad for him. I feel really bad.
Yeah, this show's really slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, on to the next episode, I guess.
So, congratulations, Hook'em Hottie, on having a man who'll put up with that crap. Ralph Has Crab says, I've got a lot of respect for Ralph as a fellow Seahawks and Supersonics fan. I just take issue with him being a fan of the Rams, too, our bitter division rival. I love you, Ralph. You can be my weekend warrior any day of the week.
But they weren't a division rival when I was growing up.
But
you
they
keep
are
forgetting that.
Now.
You got to pick a side, Ralph.
I have.
No, you haven't.
I picked the Seahawks.
And then when the Seahawks go down like they do, and then suddenly you're a Rams fan. Don't act like you don't got jerseys.
Ralph, true or false? Do you own a Rams jersey?
More than one.
Okay.
But I'm talking a Jack Youngblood jersey, an Eric Dickerson jersey. I mean, these are back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I just happen to remember.
I don't have any new Ram stuff at all.
You just got to pick a lane.
The Rams went to the Super Bowl, and
Yeah.
one of the first times I met you, you were wearing a Rams jersey
because they were going to the Super Bowl
the week of the Super Bowl. And
Well, of
to
course.
me, that you just if you have the childhood memories, the childhood memories don't go anywhere. But you can't root for the team anymore.
You can.
Not in the same division as you.
When they're playing each other, I pull for Seattle. But if Seattle's out for the year and the Rams are still in it, I'm going to pull for the Rams.
That's
my,
just cheating.
My personal rule is that any second team I root for can't be in the division. And I'd prefer them to be in another conference, if that's possible.
Like when I'm watching football, I appreciate the play of Andy Reid and his Chiefs. I do appreciate that play. But I got no jerseys. I got nothing. I got Colts gear. And whether they're good or bad, I ride and die with my team.
But I grew up in LA.
I grew up in Phoenix. I could have a Cardinals jersey if I wanted under your rules, but I don't. I'm not gonna.
I've never been a Cardinal fan.
In my childhood, every summer I was in New York visiting my grandma. I rooted for the Yankees. Derek Jeter was my hero. I do not own Yankees things because I no longer root for the Yankees.
You've never been hired.
I was about to say that. I'm surprised you're still working here.
Well,
he didn't tell that story till after it was too late.
Well, and also I'm a Nationals fan. I don't root for the Yankees anymore. I let it go.
But my team, the Rams, when I rooted for them, they were in a separate conference from Seattle. So that was your requirement. They were in I didn't ask them to move.
Make
They
your bed
moved.
and sleep in it.
Okay, but if you're still rooting for them, that's weird.
I don't root for them now. I root for Seattle. But if Seattle's out and the Rams happen to be in the Super Bowl,
That's still weird to me.
Of course, I'm going to.
That's still weird to me. Like I don't understand
There's
that.
a $300 Seahawks jersey right there, among with other thousands of dollars of Seahawks stuff. I'm a Seahawks fan.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
you
you're
have
not
your
really
little
a Seahawks
backup
fan.
plan for when your team loses.
I have a Jack Youngblood jersey. I have a Eric Dickerson jersey, and I have a Vince Ferragamo jersey. Those are my jerseys.
All I'm saying is rooting for your divisional rival at any point in the season is weird. And because they're no longer
listen, Ralph, if the Jaguars, if the Texans, if the Titans were doing, no chance in hell am I even cheering them on to anything. I am suddenly an NFC fan. I am never, ever going to root on a division rival. I don't give any kind of a damn. I hope the Texans stadium roof collapses and they can't play this year. Okay, that's being a real fan, Ralph. I don't have like a backup Texans jersey to put on. Well, I really appreciated JJ Watt, so all right. No, just no.
But just
No.
like
If I had a rolled up newspaper, I'd hit you in the nose. Bad dog. I just hit you with it.
mostly to troll me, but not entirely. My dad was an Eagles fan, like
ouch,
a pretty big Eagles fan.
Ouch.
And when he died, I was like, I could wear something in honor of him, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I could not bring myself to do it. I will never. He's
That's
not
fair.
alive.
That is
How
fair.
It's a little
selfish
selfish.
is that?
It's a little selfish.
It's not selfish.
You wear
They're
a
the
button that says,
divisional
"I love
rival.
you, Dad," instead.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents were
still
huge
love-
Cowboys fans. I didn't hold it against them.
Oof.
I still hold it against my dad.
Well, they
He's
liked
an
Roger
Eagles fan.
Staubach, and they liked that generation of the Cowboys. So I mean,
That's a tough one to sort of, you look at them like, inside me, I'm judging you. But you don't have to say nothing. They're your parents, right?
Well, they were my financial source back then.
Right,
so
you
of
keep your
course,
mouth shut.
Yeah, I mean,
Chief Skull says, excuses, Ralph, excuses.
you can't talk. You're a Vikings fan. You have nothing. You bring nothing to this conversation.
Oh, no.
Why don't you go buy a Sam Darnold jersey and enjoy it?
You can do that now.
Yeah, go buy one because that's your
You
starting
can,
quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Speaking of names on jerseys, and there has been momentary confusion ever since we had two Josh Allens in the NFL at the same time. But now it turns out the Jaguars' Josh Allen has changed his name. It's now Josh Hines Allen.
Oh.
Which is really good because now there's no confusion at all.
Yeah. You have to distinguish between linebacker Josh Allen and quarterback Josh Allen. And
So-
sometimes they played each other.
This is not just some crappy made up smoking pot or nothing. His sister, including WNBA player Maisha, have been using Hines Allen as their last name for a long time, and it's a tribute to the maternal side of their family. So he's like, hey, legacy's forever. I'm proud to carry that tradition on the back of my jersey, following the footstep of my family who have done the Hines Allen name with pride and joy. So
That's cool.
Yeah, and now nobody confuses him for the other Josh Allen.
Because that was really confusing when they were playing each other, and then Josh Allen intercepted Josh Allen and returned it for a touchdown. Like, how do you even go about
Was it really confusing though?
it to explain the next day on radio? Not confusing to watch.
That Josh
It's
Allen
just-
got picked by Josh Allen.
Yeah, it's just better when you have different names.
Because then you're like, yeah, and Josh Allen made a sidestep. Which Josh Allen? The pass rushing Josh Allen or the Josh Allen dropping back to avoid him? It was annoying. It was annoying to have to.
So our national nightmare is over. It's Josh Hines Allen from here out.
It was at least a mild nuisance, but it's over.
Oh wait, this next thing probably should have been in the. Well, it probably should have been in the disturbing parts. I sure should have put this one next to Joe Burrow
to
with
the
the backless suit. But it hasn't happened yet. I don't know if it has happened yet, but I don't think it's happened yet. But when it does happen, it might be disturbing to see. So I'm not going to watch it. I mean, I was flipping through and I saw on the HBO Max there. I saw, oh look, it's Hard Knocks. It's the Giants.
The off-season Hard Knocks.
I
yeah.
just scrolled right past it. I'm not interested.
You need to watch it.
I want to watch it.
Why?
Some of the dumbest conversations I've ever watched.
Well, that's why I don't want to watch it.
No, well, to me, it's like, oh, maybe it's just because
In your division,
in
it's
my
fun.
division, but I'm sitting there watching this front office try and beg Saquon Barkley to come back over the phone, and it has been delightful. They're cooked. The Giants will suck for a long time.
And
if
how
that
they
is-
talked about him. You
Yeah.
remember that? I mean, it was not good.
They were like, what's our identity if Saquon leaves? I'm sorry.
Right.
If that's the way you felt about him, why didn't you show him that in money form?
Maybe your angry coach.
The coach seemed to have nothing to do with it.
No, I mean your coach with the anger issues, Brian Dable. There's been some things come out about him and how he treats his staff, and well, the promo now that there's no Saquon Barkley, the promo for the next edition is him maybe running a 40-yard dash. He's like, I could run a 40 in 4.7 seconds, and everybody's like, what? So
why they agreed to do that, I still don't understand. They've made themselves look so bad.
Well,
They don't know where they're going.
Sometimes you can't say no. The NFL as an entity can
Has
compel individual franchises to participate in Hard Knocks. I think you get to say no a certain amount of times, and then after that, I think it's a couple of times.
There were 3 teams that couldn't say no this year, and they got nailed. The Bears were one of them. The
I'm
Bears
not
were
watching
one,
this.
Giants. Well, you're gonna watch the Bears one though.
I might.
You got
watch
to.
the Bears.
I don't know, I watch it, but I like front office stuff. Like that's the
It's
kind
pretty
of stuff
interesting.
when I don't know, when I look a lot at sports lately, some of the stuff I find really interesting is the front office stuff, because that's honestly, because contracts are so short and players move around so often, the front office is actually where you're winning and losing games.
And that's the toned down version because they're in front of cameras.
Yeah, they can't tell
Imagine
you
what's really being said.
like what's our
You'll never
offensive
know.
identity without Saquon is the
Yeah.
funniest sentence
That
of
was.
this summer.
That was.
I don't think I have laughed so hard.
Wait, it's not the guy you overpaid to be your quarterback?
What's-
Really?
yeah, what's our identity without Saquon
Huh.
while you're
Well, they made it very clear that they don't know how that's going to go.
yeah.
Huh.
Like if he's really the guy.
Chief Skull says, Ralph, can I borrow your Sam Darnold USC jersey?
You could. That's when he was actually a football player.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Been a while.
He did get drafted high for a reason.
He was a heck of a college quarterback.
It wasn't because he didn't know how to play in college.
Yeah.
His head just, the problem was he got in the NFL and his giant cranium kept growing.
Honestly, you look at him and you just don't. I'm perplexed as to why it didn't transfer.
I almost
he looks good in college.
I get scared when guys just get drafted by the Jets.
He's seeing ghosts.
Like I
Ralph.
think that franchise ruins quarterbacks.
Which one?
The Jets.
Oh, the Jets? Yeah.
Mhm.
So like perfectly good quarterbacks find themselves in New York, and I'm like
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson was amazing in college. That nothing as a Jet.
Watch him be good now.
Yeah, I don't know. You had the Mark Sanchez run. We had a couple of good seasons with the Jets, and then never again. One butt fumble and his whole career fell apart.
Big George wants to know, Keon, if you're going to reprise your 4 down segment this NFL season. He loved it when you put us on the hot seat.
I could if Randy and Jeffrey still want to do it.
I don't care.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, was that the only question? Okay. Just feel like that was just kind of weird. Do you like doing that segment?
Yeah, it was fun.
You never put Ralph on the hot seat.
Yeah, how come?
Yeah, well, because we didn't do it last season, and
Can't put you on a hot seat with your sweat issue.
And so Ralph never got the chance to be on the hot seat.
I want to be on the hot seat.
We didn't do it last year. So if we do it this year, then yeah. And then 4th down is the hot seat down.
All right. Well, yeah, Ralph, you were never there on that day, so
Well, I'm going to be doing Seahawk rants this year. So,
are you really?
Counter Seahawk.
I need to have a counter rant because I just can't let it go. I'm done. The Cardinal ones are really good. I can do better.
See how they was time permitting.
I'm recording one.
Time permitting.
Okay, only when they play the Cardinals.
All right, I'll let you do a rant on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. That's twice a year, right?
Twice a year.
Yeah.
I've got to be humble. My team sucks. There's no rants.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx anything. It looks like my team has potential to be pretty good, but I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't think your team sucks.
No, they don't suck. It's just it all hinges on if the quarterback Anthony Richardson can
not get hurt.
Yeah, not be
cannot
reckless.
Don't run directly into a linebacker. Just try not doing that first, and then we'll see where we go.
I'm excited to see what the heck I'm going to be looking at because I don't have a clue.
I wouldn't trust Anthony Richardson if I was standing there at the end of a hall, and at the other end of the hall there's a wood chipper. Like, don't. I can't leave till I know for sure you're not going to run down there and jump in that wood chipper. After what happened last season,
you're not invincible, sir.
Yeah, Kiss the Cook says watching a good, and I mean good baseball game. Phillies spanking the Dodgers right now 9-1.
Oh, so it's close.
Got him right where you want him.
Dodgers can come back from 9-1.
Okay.
That would be the first time this year.
Sure. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. More football. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
4th of July appliance savings are happening now at the Home Depot. So upgrade with innovative appliance brands like GE Profile. Modernize your kitchen with a new GE Profile 4-door French door refrigerator with hands-free auto-fill dispenser. And with the GE Profile Ultra-Fast Combo Washer Dryer, you can tackle large loads in about 2 hours. Save up to $2,400 on select kitchen packages with 4th of July savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing about June 19th through July 10th, U.S. only. See store online for details.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. Court-appointed special advocates, known as CASAs, are assigned to children as advocates during their experience in the foster care system. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about court-appointed special advocates. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need. each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Live and local.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. What was the final score on the temperature? Was it 115 today? Is that what it was? 115? I might not leave my house for another 2 months.
I think you'd be right to do that.
Smart decision.
Just I'm hot in this room here. You know, I don't understand you is I mean, all day long, this room is, it's got a bunch of windows. This studio, it's a nice studio. And you open the windows up, you see, oh, look at the trees there. Oh, look at there. You can see people walking by. Hey, neighbor, that kind of thing. And, I think that's overrated. I think I just want to black out the entirety of all these windows to try to make it cooler in here when it's hot. Because even during the winter, it gets kind of hot in here. Because this is like a magnified fishbowl.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Just feel like maybe we don't need these windows.
There'd just be some concrete around and just
paint them up there. Maybe you do is you have like a little circle where like a porthole for a ship where you can look out. Oh, look at that. And then that's it. That's all you need. Outside of that, I don't want to be in this room again until it cools the hell down. Because this is dumb.
Let's turn the AC on.
Oh, it struggles. It's been struggling since I got here earlier today. Yeah, because James from Money Radio, he leaves it at 80. He's one of those guys whose house has the air conditioning is set at 80.
80?
Yeah, that's just barbaric.
It's impossible.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
James does not like the cold, and he would rather burn to death than freeze to death. And that he's
taking all of us with him.
Yeah.
Because if this thing were set at like 73 or 74 during the day, once it gets to the heat of day, it would take a little longer for it to.
Yeah, you pre-cool it.
Yeah. I like to pre-cool the hell out of this room. James is not interested in that. So I'm gonna have to fight James maybe. He's pretty solid, though.
He is a solid dude. I personally would not.
Keon, you're going to have to fight James.
I'm not going to fight James.
We're going to need you to fight James.
That is
it falls under your job description.
It does not. I know my contract. Unlike the cheerleader we were talking about earlier, I read it.
Ralph, you're going to need to have you fight James.
I've seen him. No problem.
Take him down.
I could do it with one hand.
I don't think so. Not one hand.
Because I've seen James get mad. And I'm not interested.
If that one hand's holding a 45, I think I could take him.
Yeah. Dude.
Well, okay, yeah.
I don't think we'd allow that. That's not in the rule book for fighting around here. But remember, you almost had to fight him.
Yeah, I did when I stole that battery from him.
Yeah. Well, so what happened was
it
was a Christmas party, and
that's right.
It was on the gifts, the wall of gifts, and it's a whole thing where you get to take it, and then somebody else could take it from you. And Ralph, who works for a place that has solar panels and battery packs, Ralph sitting there goes like, hey, I kind of like to have that battery pack. Yoink, and took it right from him. And James was like, well, why didn't you take the drone? He got mad.
Yeah.
You know what really pissed him off? If he knew that I had a 4K battery already sitting at the house.
He would have been very upset to hear that. Because that was Christmas.
Yep.
He was still talking about it like 2 months ago.
He was
talked about
happy
it the
about it.
next Christmas. He was talking about it.
That's been 2 years now.
Yeah, it's just like he has not let that go, and
I
I
use that
don't think
battery.
he ever will.
I use that battery every year.
Didn't we use the battery at a remote once? Was that the same
we
one?
We used it as a remote.
That's the battery that powered our remote that day.
Yep. And poor guy, he'll get over it. He can go buy one. They're only like $300.
Yeah. Well,
only. He's landing between the couch.
we're all
cushions.
looking for fun stuff. Ralph has already identified the most expensive thing on the wall. He's like, I'm going to take that.
I'm taking that one. Yeah.
Ron takes care of you guys.
He does. He sure
So,
does.
I mean, I had to come in and I had to come in and grab it. Hey, it was there for the taking. I'm going to take it.
Fair enough. It was within the rules.
You would have done it too.
Well, now that I know how much the thing was
Yeah,
worth,
I didn't know how much it was worth either.
that was a pretty cool.
changes
That
the
is a
math
cool
on that for
battery. Pair that up with a singular solar panel and a inverter, and just keep that thing going, right?
Yeah, I mean it's small school, but one little panel on it. But I've got a bigger battery. It's a 4K, the same company, and I pair that with a lot more panels. So
Well, we could basically use one of those, a solar panel from Harman Solar, and power any remote we do with solar.
I can get you a 400-watt panel for $80.
Do we need 400 watts?
Between me and you? Who cares if we need it or not? We get it.
I don't want to get electrocuted trying to carry it to the car.
You saw what I did in my yard. I mean, it'll be fine.
Again, did you ever explain the hell you're doing there? I don't
So
know.
what I did is I built.
Hold on, let me say.
Go ahead.
So Ralph posts up a picture, and he's got looks like five solar panels leaned over on the ground.
They're not they're on the ground, but they're on racking.
Right in his backyard, and he's like, I'm doing an experiment. They're like, well, what are you doing over there?
So what I did is I've got basically 2,000 watts. They're five 405 watt panels, and I put them on my side yard because they get a lot of sun over there.
Is this a trap for an animal? Because if it is, you're probably not going to want to talk about it now.
Okay, I'll be quiet then.
See,
it's not a trap for an animal. So I put that on the side yard, wired that all up, and then I bought a hybrid mini split for my garage. And so it's a hybrid unit. So it works off of regular AC power or solar power or a combination thereof. So then what I've done is I've run the solar to that hybrid. I installed the hybrid in my garage, and now my garage is nice and cool, and it's run by solar. And then I have a 4K battery that it runs on the other times when it's not solar because the battery's charged, and it doesn't cost me anything.
How much did the whole setup cost you? The mini split.
The
was
mini
the most
split's $1,500 for the mini split.
Okay.
The panels, I got.
They fell off the back of a Harman Solar truck.
They might. If a truck might have driven by and they might have fallen.
Oh, where'd these come from?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's something I want to do, because here's the thing: I would work on my cars year round.
That's the
array
that I built
right there. You got it on the skids there, or whatever you call them, rails.
Yeah, I got them on rails. Yeah.
And I would love to have a mini split on my garage so I could work on my cars. Hell, I don't even care. I'll plug it into the house.
That mini split's the bomb. You should do that because
$1,500 though.
Yeah, but it's a hybrid and it also is a heater, so it's both.
I never need heat.
Well, you got about 2 weeks a year where it gets really cold.
Yeah, I have a jacket that I wear once a year.
But our garage, so we work out a lot. So our garage it's always really hot. My son and myself. So, and plus the upstairs is over the garage, so it makes it warm upstairs. By cooling the garage down, now you don't have that issue.
Kiss the Cook says 78 degrees in my house, and I'm quite comfortable. New windows, screens, new AC, blackout curtains when needed. Yeah, it was 78 still. That's pretty high.
I keep mine at 75.
Mine is 77.
Oof.
I am not comfortable, but I am saving money, so it's fine. You got to pick your battles, man.
I told my wife, I was like, I think that we've been spoiled. You know what got us spoiled? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, we didn't used to keep the air conditioning at 73. It used to be kept at like 74, and then it went to 73, and then Arnett, and she's the one running up and going, yeah, I got to she puts on the 72, where she starts to feel like she's doing stuff around the house or whatever.
You have a 2-story house, right?
Yeah. And so, I'm paying a lot of money.
You should have a mini split upstairs. They cover 1,300 square feet.
Yeah.
And hook it to solar on a patio, and you're not going to have that bill.
Well, I told her, I said, you know what got us? Because we used to leave the house a lot. And so you can take a higher temperature when you're coming and going. Now you're like, wow, 74 is pretty good. 74 is nice. And I said, but when COVID hit, we didn't leave the house. And then now we've got the pleasure of both of us still being able to work from home for quite a bit. And so I think we've acclimated to our air conditioning and deacclimated from the heat of Arizona. I mean, listen, as hot as this has been this summer, and yes, it is getting hotter. It's getting worse. Everything is getting worse with the heat, but these aren't temperatures that we haven't dealt with before.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Last year.
Yeah, we're dealing with them more days out of the year, and some of these days are getting even hotter and hotter. Absolutely right. But this,
it's not out of.
I used to ride my bike in this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that the people who got to work from home and still do, spoiled by COVID.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Ralph. If you'd never given me COVID, this
You
wouldn't
gave
happen.
me COVID. I'll never forget the day you gave me COVID.
You liar.
You gave me my second bout.
You came in filthy with the COVID, gave me my first bout.
Yeah, you gave me my
You
second
took my
and my
COVID
third.
virginity.
Well, somebody had to.
Well, no, I feel like that was, I feel like I should sue you for stealing my COVID virginity.
Wow.
I hope I don't get COVID again. So far, haven't had the COVID.
No, the new thing is bird flu.
God damn you birds.
It's going to kill all the chickens.
Damn you, Arizona Cardinals.
Well, it's going to kill all the chickens. They're afraid it's going to be able to jump to people. It's like what they're afraid
I'm
of.
more concerned about the eggs.
It jumped a guy in Colorado.
Yeah,
I guess that's
a
what
farmer.
they're saying, right?
Yeah, farmer.
The hell is he doing to them chickens? Feel like I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1966, during a game between the St. Louis Cardinals and Houston Astros, as a hot, humid evening at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri, legendary broadcaster Harry Carey did the play-by-play of the game in just his underwear and socks. Surprised by a photographer taking a photo of him, the veteran broadcaster was captured adjusting the waistband of his boxers just as the camera clicked. And here is that photo right here.
I'm trying to understand why.
That's funny.
I mean,
he looks surprised too. Like
Yeah.
he just couldn't imagine.
Just Google Harry Carey and his boxers, and you'll see the iconic, famous photo. And also, I'm trying to figure out what's with the giant fishing net right there next to him. Is that so people can hand him beers? I'm assuming so if he's standing there in his drawers.
Probably.
But yeah, he's just standing there like, hi. Yeah,
And that's not the first game you do in your underwear and socks. If that's the first time you're getting caught in your underwear and socks.
Them boxers, them huge boxers.
Yeah.
Those are
just shorts.
Yeah.
Those are basketball shorts. That's
Harry Carey had no F's to give, did he? He just didn't care. That was not the first time he was like walking around with that shirt. I remember when he was at Hocom Park, and that's when I saw him Take Me Out to the Ball Game when I was a kid, watching a spring training game. And he's leaning out there. He was drunker than a skunk. And later on, the shirt came off.
How cool
the
is
shirt
that?
did come off,
Shirt
and he just did not care. That man loved life. So good for Harry Carey. Baker's Cocky Hen says Harry used the net for foul balls. Now that makes sense. That makes sense. But also it makes sense that somebody'd hand him a beer. But although every time I saw him with a beer in person or on TV, it was a glass. It's like, where'd you get the glass?
Well, he was classy, a classy alcoholic, but he was classy.
Clearly. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. We got like a couple minutes left. I don't even know what to talk about now. So like I feel like we start a new thing, and then we're gonna get cut off. And but we can't just sit here and not do anything.
It's a good point.
I mean, you could.
I mean, I have it on good authority that Radio Run is not listening now.
We could linger around the driveway, like when people are getting ready to leave your house. You're like, let's do this again soon. Yeah. Generally, some conversation comes up where you can't seem to either get away or get them out of your house. And that's what we need right now.
Well, yeah, it's usually some important. Oh, did I ever tell you about Aunt Diana? She had cancer. And you're like, oh man.
Geez.
I feel like a jerk. I can't leave this conversation. I don't want to seem callous, but also
bye.
I don't like you that much. I want you to go home.
Lost Toby says, I love sitting there doing nothing. Yeah. Yeah. George says we should spin the wheel of sports.
There's not enough time, I don't think.
See, that's the thing. We're running out of time. Not enough time to do a thing, but too
not
much time not to do anything.
It's a bad spot.
Kiss the Cook says a net for foul balls. No, not his foul balls. They just the foul balls that would be sent in.
I understand how confusing that could be as he was in his underwear, but the net is for.
We've all seen dads and granddads in their underwear, and sometimes them balls was foul.
We don't need, he was trying to avoid a John Sterling moment before John Sterling. When the ball hit him in the face. Ow! Oh! Ow!
Ow! Oh! Ow! That was one of the best things I ever heard. And not just because he's a Yankees guy.
It has nothing to do with that. If it happened to anybody, it would be insanely hilarious. Because he never broke his, whatever the broadcaster was, he never broke it. Oh! Ow! Oh!
My dentures are just a bit outside. All right, well, now it's time to go. Let's go. Get in the car. Everybody get in the car. We're leaving. Time to go home. Ralph, thanks for being with us. Yep. And, well, the rest of you, whatever. Do I need to thank them for being with us?
Sure. I mean, yeah, Fourth Dimension, thanks for being here. You're welcome to stay. We're just...
Hey, in this 3-hour show, you got at least an hour and a half of actual entertainment. So, I don't owe you nothing.
That's a good point.
I owe you an apology for the other hour and a half. You're not going to get it, though. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Ryan Garcia apology.
The Daily Blender. You're on 1580, The Fanatic.
The wait is over.